audio going?
Yeah, our microphones seem to be a little. Oh, here we go. This is probably what's. This needs to go away.
Doot, 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 doot.
All right. I'm assuming. Can you guys hear us? Does it?
Oh, John Michael says we can hear you.
Okay.
You can hear both of us fine? All right. So Harpster is starting indoor operations. It is not TTO. It's 3 effect, but he has
Power of the
Bow,
Hut.
Power of the Hut, and KDY. All right. And then we got No Idea. So let's see. Power of the Hut is obviously to pull Effetmon.
Who cancels spies
Effetmon
from
says
going to
spies
the
can't
bunker,
deploy there.
right?
So what will happen with that is Harpster's game plan will be Effetmon to the bunker so that he can put Ominous out and establish and flip limit haze to one destiny, KDY to pull his systems, and then he'll be draining +2 with Ominous, and Hayes, of course, with No Idea. If you're not familiar with the deck, the idea is to deploy a spy to pick up the Stardust planes at the vault and move out to the beach, which is a drain 2. And then once they flip, they can do ping damage with the Stardust and drain, and then try and evade. One thing that will be interesting to see if it comes up. No Idea often plays quite a mercenary V, which can cancel a smuggler's game text. Effetmon is a smuggler.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
he could cancel Effetmon's game text
And
and,
then
deploy a
deploy
bunch of
there
spies
and-
and get a beatdown.
Okay.
So
So that's something we can be on the lookout for.
Yep. Oh,
Okay. So Dan's telling us we got 3 of the top 4 light sides are playing No Idea.
2 maps, EOPS, and entanglements are all the decks that are on display right now. Are 3 No Idea, and then what's the other light? Diplo. So 3 No Idea and a Diplo, and dark is 2 map indoor ops and entanglements. Yeah. Apparently we have a weird echo now.
Okay.
I wonder if both our mics are picking up.
That
each
might
other
be. It
or
might be
something.
too close to each other or something like that.
I don't know.
Put it a little. We'll.
Hey, can you check if there's active judging today? Or
Oh yeah, we got.
I don't know if there will be enough judges to do it in the top 8, but
Maybe
I
for
would
the
guess at
finals.
least the top 4
Yeah.
and finals there will be. All right, so they both pull grabbers. So the other interesting thing we didn't talk about yet is Harpster's other effect, Bow, is he's going to have Finalizer, which he uses Bow right now to pull out Finalizer. Let's see, we see a Dark Time in there. We see, I saw a green card. It looked like maybe Laser Cannon Battery.
Yeah, laser cannon battery seems pretty solid on the finalizers.
Yeah.
And Battle of the First Order, a lot of light side decks use the Must Be Allowed to Speak, and so Battle of the First Order is kind of a good way to set up.
Yeah,
Get
so
use pile pulls
We'll,
and
we'll see EPP, Kylo, probably Snoke, Hux, maybe even Phasma and a few troopers um, on the ground battling to get those use pile pulls. The laser cannon battery is interesting because No Idea on its front side can pull ships from its reserve deck, and so its space package is usually like Tanev, Bright Hope, Gold Leader, and Gold One, stuff like that. But those are all fairly low armor
low defense
maneuvers.
value. Yeah.
Yeah. So laser cannon battery can. There's Establish. Harpster's going in his control phase to grab that. I see a barrier in there, a decree. So he'll want to get that decree out pretty quick to
That'll
limit
help
that
the Stardust damage. Yeah,
to
for
1.
sure.
So he'll be looking to see when is that active that I can either draw into it or play someone to bow pull into it. And yeah, I think this will be an interesting match because um, I think it's going to be interactive in that we've got the space battling at all ever.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No active judging till the finals. That's what it sounds like. We don't have judge volunteers.
Oh, okay. He didn't switch decks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
that's what
idea.
we saw.
It's the best light deck. I didn't play it because I didn't have the reps with it, but it was what I was going to play in the Outrider Cut versus Bastion because I think that and Throne Room are the top 2 decks. and Thornham has a lot more ways you can hate against it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So he pays 2 with KDY to
Goes
pull
for the
Jakku, and he uses power.
power to the hut to get EFANT Mon. So like you said, it'll be interesting to see if Hayes has the quite a mercenary V to potentially get around that EFANT Mon game text.
Looks like a sleeve split or is slightly different or something. He's tossed a card off to the side for someone to look at. Harpster's pulling out the
Maybe it's just the slip is off or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, it looks like they just resleeved something. Um, so pretty standard first turn for Harpster. It's one downside of an Endor Ops deck like this is it's kind of slow, right? His whole first turn was pay 2 to pull a system, pay 4 for FMon, and you know he did get out Endor Shield to blank his icons at Endor.
Because sometimes you'll see like the EOPS decks instead of pulling Jakku as your system to pull Mustafar, use Mustafar
Right.
to get the castle.
Yep.
Set up. Oh, and see,
Oh,
actually, he has a castle
Castle in hand, so he didn't bother pulling.
Okay, that makes
Or,
sense.
oh, and he also had an indoor site in hand. Normally, you'd pulled out with established control or established
So
secret base,
yeah.
virtual.
So at least, yeah, you did get
He got a
a
lot
few
of
icons.
activation in
Yeah.
opening hand, and having the Jakku system means his finalizer is going to come down a lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure he plays Mustafar too. But Goglin says, "I wonder if this is his tanks deck."
I feel like when he was looking through for the
Yeah, I
finalizer, we
didn't
would have
see
seen some more.
tanks or commanders.
Yeah,
When
we would have
on
seen
that
some tanks.
verify. So I don't think so. It seems like his plan is just kind of overwhelm with Star Destroyers and space, and laser cannon batteries and drain a lot in space, and then try and use bow guys to drain on Endor.
Seems interesting.
I think that was intensify the forward batteries.
That's the
Admiral's
Admiral's
order that I
order.
saw
Okay.
makes all your warriors deploy -1.
Yeah,
Warriors who
entanglements
aren't
used to use
pilots.
that one a
Yeah,
lot.
that trooper entanglements
Yeah.
now is
To the
banned
point
from
that it's
using it.
banned.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. So, but if you look at the non-pilot warriors in there, so he pulls Thrawn with Endor Shield.
Endor Shield.
You've got Kylo, Hux is a pilot, but Kylo, Phasma, any troopers he's running, and then of course it does stuff with weapons. I think it makes defense value -4.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty good for the laser cannon batteries up in space. Interesting.
Yeah, and we'll see. And then there's some counterplay there where Hayes, I'm absolutely certain, no idea is going to be playing Keep Your Eyes Open, usually for EPP Mall and stuff.
Right.
But that works in space as well. But then Harpster might have Point Man, which cancels Keep Your Eyes Open. So there's some
play
interesting
there, yeah.
of who's got the cards and counter cards in their hand. And
Yeah, I like these. I mean, Darkseid seems to be kind of in a bad spot right now, but getting some creative decks like this, I like seeing some different stuff other than just map and reps.
yeah, it's
So there's.
Gogolin, good catch, points out that Point Man only cancels Keep Your Eyes Open at a site, so it'll still be live in space.
Okay.
As long
Good to
as,
know. Thanks,
As
Gogolin.
long as Hayes knows that,
So
yeah.
Saw Gerrera goes down, picks up Stardust. Pretty normal, no idea play these days. You need to go grab something, or?
I'm gonna grab some water.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
a little scratchy.
All right. So Saw Gerrera. Once again, thanks for checking out Endor Top 8. This is Game 1. We are just underway here a few minutes ago. Got about 20 viewers so far. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be bringing you coverage all day, all the way through the finals. Is that, they've shut down the main reactor in Harpster's hand? That card is crazy if I remember correctly. So I'm pretty sure Harpster is running. They shut down the main reactor or whatever that card is. I saw it in his hand.
Yeah, that's a great card.
I was trying to look it up. I forgot what that
It,
card
it
does, but
says
I know it's crazy.
pilots can't apply their ability towards drawing battle destiny.
Okay.
It's used cost 2 force, and they cannot move until it's almost like a clash you were beaten.
Okay.
Only you can still battle them. It just says they can't move, so you can move in front of them and then shut down the main reactor so they can't move away.
Kind of similar to like Gravity Shadow. People play
Yeah,
that one.
exactly. Only you don't have to draw a destiny, but
Okay.
it requires you to have a capital starship with a starship weapon.
Right. So that's where the
So
laser
you have
cannon
the laser
batteries
cannon
come
battery, and then you shut down the main reactor so they can't move away.
in. All right. That looks pretty cool. So that's some interesting tech.
And it looks like in the chat, John Michael pointed out, looks like he has the dark side power pivot, which is relentless pursuit.
That's the one that makes, if you have a starship armed with a weapon, you reduce the starship powers to 0.
Yeah, you can lose one to make him power 0, or you can make a hit ship immediately lost.
Right. Okay. Schoenthal's grabbing Joe Olsen. So, take over again. Light side on target. Yeah, there you go.
They're going to try and get 2 volunteers so they can active judge the top 4 as well.
Okay.
But yeah, having 4 people to do it for this round is tough.
Yeah.
A smaller event with 40-person event, that's 10% of the field when you've already got 20% of the field playing in the top 8.
And there's, constellation event going on. And
Right. Those lazy people just commentating. All right, so
commentary takes work. You know that.
so he plays Ominous, pays 2. Light occupies no indoor sites, so he can play Ominous, and now all of he
Force
can add
drains.
2 to a force drain at a non-indoor system
For each Endor site he occupies.
Right now he occupies 1. Does not have to be a battleground. So
Yeah,
he
it could
occupies
be
1. So somewhere else, some other system could be drain +2 right now.
Yeah. So he's got the Jakku system and the Mustafar system. So, I mean, with the Finalizer and the Ominous Rumors, you can get a pretty good drain up
The
there at
Mustafar
Jakku.
system and Castle are a little bit split apart.
That is true. And that is Piet.
Yeah, it comes down to backup FMon, which is smart if you're worried about the
Quite a mercenary play.
mercenary spy play. Establish
Alright, so now he's flipped.
Establish pulls the site, which he already has, but lets him flip since he has both Establish and Ominous on table. And the flip lets him retrieve a Biker Scout, which I doubt he's playing, and does a few other things too. But the main thing, the one line of text he really wants is opponent cannot draw more than 1 Battle Destiny. So
Yeah,
if there's
and that's everywhere.
Screaming
Space,
Lando, yeah, if there's like a Poe in space, if there's a Han with a Solo with Rey, like it's just universally capped to 1 Battle Destiny.
Yep.
He plays Battle Order so he doesn't get drained at the vault. But Hayes, I'm sure in his control phase, will pick up the plans and ping for 2.
Right.
Which he does.
Yeah, the Mustafar site and system are separated. And this little button here will mute you if you ever need to.
So, yeah, and that site and system being separated actually is pretty relevant. If there was active judging, I'd make sure those were
Connected.
next to each other, because that's something where, Hayes might, if he had a ship, capital ship or whatever, want to shuttle the dude down to the system. Now, of course, he's playing so many spies, he can deploy there directly a lot, but still, if you have people on the ship, you may want to shuttle down and move. And
it's a lot more.
Okay, so there goes the Intensify. That'll tell Hayes some weird stuff is up.
Yeah.
I didn't see what the first card loss was. It looked like he just top decked 2.
Yeah, he definitely top decked 2. I couldn't tell what the first one was. If anybody else saw it, it was pretty quick. Looked like it might have been like a ship of some kind, but like a blue card. But
I think, aside from a bunker beatdown, I think this game will hinge on, can Hayes do enough damage with the Stardust and the beach and everything, and kind of pile that on while Harpster is going more slow. Darkside Big Blue tends to just be a slow sort of juggernaut getting out their ships and paying 8 to 12 for these big beefy stuff. And Light's paying very little for a bunch of spies. Hayes will probably flood the board at some point with spies on Endor, spies at that Mustafar site, and just try and survive in space, and so that he isn't paying for battle plan or
Right.
battle order, and just try and get a lot of damage in, and then it will be, I think the impetus will be on Harpster to, can he get those shut down the main reactor, the green cards, the
Yeah.
tricks,
Like he's
to
all about
say
clearing
you
space.
can't run in space, you have to sit here, fight me, and either get overflow or start paying for all those trains, and
Right.
and then I catch up.
Uh-huh.
Silverglyn thought the first card lost was Maul's ship, or maybe
Yeah, I felt
Invisible
like it was a
Hand.
blue card of some kind,
Yeah, so
and one of those makes sense. Wait, I don't see the invisible hand too much these days.
yeah, with that Destiny 6
The
puller,
Trade
it
Federation
also,
tactics.
yep, and it also pulls the reacting ship.
The trade, yeah, it's like the spiral, but for dark
Yeah,
side.
yeah. Um,
Like the
that's
droid
that's a
control
big
ship or something. I think
that's
it's
a
called.
big boon for the invisible hand.
Yeah, definitely.
It synergizes well with commands and stuff like that. If he's running a command to pull Hux, which gets him a bow pull, and with that Piet and in the Thrawn, and so he's running commands. Then you throw in a Grievous because
Mm-hmm.
command pulls Grievous, and then an
Mm-hmm.
invisible hand gets 2 Destiny with Grievous on table. So there's some
Yeah,
there's
that's
some
good.
it works well in most recent TTO versions. Baroni's had a good one at Worlds, and then Desai had a fun play on that in the Outrider Cup.
Okay.
Um,
Rogue One goes to Scarif. I didn't see the pilot aboard that.
so I think he pulled that from deck using his objective, which lets him flip. Now that he's at 2 sites, he has not flipped his objective yet, but I think they will realize that.
And then we see an Ezra Bridger get played to the forest.
She's awesome at a
It's a
You're
dude.
gonna correct me a lot on that. For some reason, Ezra sounds like a female name to me. Ezra and Hark are just stuck as females in my mind forever. He lets you, at the beginning of Darkside's turn, either activate based on the number of dark icons, or dark activates minus the number of icons at Ezra's site, and it's Dark's choice. So to make that more clear, Ezra's at a 2 icon Dark site right now. At beginning of Dark's turn, Dark will choose either they activate 2 less that turn, or
Or
Light
light
will
side gets
immediately
2 free
activate 2.
force.
Yeah, and so Ezra's
Ezra's
great
a
to
very
have
interesting card.
yeah.
And the fact that he's a spy definitely gets some play and no idea. He's an ability 4 spy. So he
Okay,
can draw
so
on his
Hayes
own.
realized he flipped, and he did so. So now Hayes is starting to spread out and do damage. He moved Saw over
Yep.
just by himself, but I'm sure he's got some of the reacting troopers in his hand, or it's a trap,
it's a
or
trap,
barrier,
some
or
way to.
some kind of evasion. But we got Saw at the beach. We got some pilot on Rogue One,
Yeah.
and Ezra at the forest.
Wonder if it's like a Luke Skywalker farm boy or
So
something.
interestingly, Hayes plays a Bish Shuffle combo. I guess he doesn't want to go above 12 is my guess, and so he's playing a used interrupt to put him back to 11 so he can draw one more.
But getting
we
rid of a
did-
barrier canceller.
Right, and we saw a barrier on a verify.
Yeah.
So that might be big later. He might be kicking himself when he gets
Yeah.
barriered and going.
But like you said, if he's trying to search for a specific card or.
Yeah.
And didn't want to potentially get. We saw Harpster played a Grimtash yesterday on
Right.
stream.
Yeah,
In his
Harpster
light side
plays
deck. So.
Concussion Monarch, and you got to respect that he might have that. So.
Yeah. But if Hayes is looking for a specific card or just wanted to get different
So right
cards
now,
in his
Harpster
hand.
just decided on Ezra, and looks like I did not see Hayes activate 2, and Harpster's getting plenty of force, so I think he decided to do 2 less.
That sounds right.
And
If you can afford it, it's probably not a good idea to give your opponent free force.
especially when they're playing evasion and it's a trap and reacting dudes and stuff, then
Yeah.
they love that force. That looked like a Dengar and Punishing one. No, Jabba Space
It's
Cruiser.
Jabba Space Cruiser,
Which makes
'cause that
sense. You can
pulls
pull
with
that
power,
with
yeah.
power. Yep.
Hayes did activate 2, says John Michael. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you. Cool. I really appreciate everyone watching this and correcting us when we miss things. You guys are super eagle-eyed, and
Yep. It's already
Thanks
up to
having that.
26 for today. Awesome, guys. Keep it coming. Thanks for tuning in. Endor Grand Prix Top 8, Game 1, Harpster versus Hayes Hunter. So Harpster was the lone Endor representative in the top 8.
yeah.
So see if he
And
can.
he made the finals of
Made the
this tournament
finals
last
last
year.
year, yeah, against
And
Johnny Chu in that crazy hidden base
that's right.
weapons thing. And you played the 12 card hunt down and only drew 8 cards to
Yeah,
start.
yeah. So
Always remember
we'll see
that.
if he can have as good a run this year.
8 card hunt down, yep. That was a strategic play. He didn't need those 4 extra cards against that hidden base deck.
So looks like he's played weapons display. In case Harpster plays something and doesn't battle, he's got Goldenrod out for Blizzard 4. Theoretically, Emperor's Personal Shuttle or something like that, but most likely Blizzard 4.
Yeah, Blizzard 4 is the big
Grabber.
one.
And Harpster has out Grabber in battle order. Oh, it looks like Harpster got Decree V out.
Okay, that does help.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
which
see
will
that
be
on the
big
left
for
there.
yeah, big for limiting that Stardust damage all game. I mean, that alone will probably save him at least 6 force over the course of the game.
All right, that's
If it costs
Dooku.
6 more turn. Yep, Dooku comes down to Ezra. Asks if Hayes has a response. He's
Say no
yeah.
response.
I mean, so the Destiny in Harpster's deck just has to be atrocious. Besides the one Admiral's Order, like when you've
Some of
got
those
a
interrupts are
bunch of bow
decent,
guys,
but
a
yeah,
bunch
and the
of
LCBs are
blue.
4s.
Okay, so he does barrier him here.
Okay,
I feel like, yeah,
so Dooku
yeah,
gets
and,
barriered.
and the shut down the main reactors are 4s and barriers are 4s. So there's some red cards, but in general he's got a bunch of big blue Dooku first order guys.
Right.
It's more raw power than high destiny. So he did not grab barrier, which is interesting. I wonder what he's saving it for. Maybe keep your eyes open.
Yeah, keep your
so
eyes
that he
open.
can get off those space weapons, or I don't know.
Yeah, barrier does seem
In
like the
some
one
decks,
to grab.
you might want to grab Hujix that
Mhm.
you're going to do multiple beatdowns. I don't know that that's the case with this because your stuff's so expensive to get multiple in would be difficult.
Yeah, barrier does seem like a good one to grab for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe just Harpster didn't have the force for it, or has a different interrupt
Now
in mind.
he deploys Kylo with Saber and does a
Okay.
bow pull. And we see a Dark Time. We
There's a
see
bridge.
The bridge, yeah. Another green card. Takes a red card. There's a masterful combo.
He
I
took
turn
some
it
sort of a
off.
red card.
So he does have a lot of high destiny red. It seems like his destinies are very split. They're either 4-5 reds
He's got 1s and 2s and then 5s and 4s.
yeah. Brian Spate mentions once No Idea gets going, the chronic retrieval happens. Once you're battling, they start drawing spies and just kind of ping retrieve one every battle, and that can be difficult to deal with. It is annoying. Oh,
Just took sense with
John Michael, how do you see these
Yeah.
things? John Michael says
maybe
he
he's
took
watching
sense
on like
with
a
the
big
bow.
screen TV
Yeah.
or something. We have a
And,
kind of a small.
That would be a great card to grab because it can deal with a lot of if Hayes is relying on dodge or something. So Hayes plays it's a trap, which is immune to sense. Harpster tries to sense and Hayes says, no, that's immune, and Harpster double checks.
So now you just revealed that you have a sense.
Yeah, and so Hayes probably pulls do it or not right here. The canceller for it's a trap is they're still coming through.
Yep. Shots also cancels like Smoke Screen, Fallen Portal. That one's a pretty good canceller for sure.
And Hayes pulls
Wise advice.
Wise advice.
Sense shield. Now that he's seen a sense.
decided he'd rather have his interrupts go used than the sense go lost and won because Decree is out.
Does that potentially tell us? Do you think maybe Hayes is playing some sense of his
No,
own? I mean,
I don't
no
think
idea doesn't
so.
typically.
I don't think so. I'm guessing he wants the interrupts to go used so that he can use Vanden Willard, who's a 3PO basically, to get them back. But I'm not. And then I'm guessing he'll grab sense because you can't just let the opponent's senses go used as they cancel the interrupts.
Right.
You
Right.
have to.
Yeah, grab sense.
I mean that's the best part of There is no try. So he pings one with Stardust and gets a barrier. And Hayes is like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have dumped my barrier canceller.
And does Decree reduce the damage from the defensive shield when you sense
It
things?
does.
So I mean,
Yes.
maybe it's
So,
also another reason. It's like, okay, well, he's not going to lose two. He's only going to lose one.
all right, Force Lightning is gone. He retrieves. Oh, so it must be Luke Skywalker V is the pilot.
I'm pretty sure it's Luke
'Cause
Skywalker.
he
Yeah,
just he
retrieved
and he
force.
doesn't need to pay one because Secret Plans isn't out. So he just retrieves that. It's a trap.
Okay, imagine Steve will get secret plans out here.
Yeah, I mean, that's and just as a play tip for everyone, um, when your opponent does something like that, like retrieves, and you don't have secret plans out, and you kick yourself because you're like, oh, I knew I should have secret plans out because he's got 100 men. At some point, he's gonna draw a spy. He's gonna retreat. Like some
Oh, and
point,
Luke was on the
and he
table.
plays Luke. Like I need to have secret plans out. And one mistake I see from less experienced players is that mistake happens and they kick themselves and then
And
they
they
don't
get
pull it and then it happens again the next turn and they're like, oh, and they kick themselves and then they pull it or they still don't. And it's like, if you're kicking yourself because shoot, I should have pulled that, just do it now. They got a free retrieval. Oh, bummer. Move on.
right.
Pull the plan shield right now. Like
Exactly.
Harpster still hasn't. It's still not out. I think Harpster right now should go whoops and pull a secret plan shield.
Right. He has already played three shields, the grabber and battle plan and firepower. So maybe he only has one natural shield pull left. So maybe he's just a little worried about blowing that last one in case he needs something
I don't
else.
know what
But
I don't. Yeah, it's
yeah,
not like there's. That looks like Invisible Hand just got lost to a drain. So he pinged with Stardust and then drained 2 and 1. So, and this is what I was saying about no idea is going to start putting on that early damage. Yeah, and there Jin goes
Jin
over
Urso.
to.
the disattached Mustafar.
I'm not sure I like that play, because Jin can go undercover at Kylo's site,
Hmm.
and so Ezra's. I think you got to run away with Ezra over to the docking bay, and so I think you put Jin undercover and put a different spy over at Mustafar, but maybe she's kind of all he had right there. And he's willing to let Harpster pay 3 to drain for 2, one of which he'll retrieve back with Luke, hoping to kind of choke Harpster so he can't drain and play all the big blue he wants and everything. Um, but this is what I was saying earlier: is no idea is going to spread out, going to try and just occupy space and start doing a bunch of damage, and Harpster's going to have to catch up. He's going to have to get out his big ships. He's going to have to get out his tricks, his guns, his shut down the main reactor, kick Hayes out of space, and then start overcoming him with ominous damage and that sort of stuff. And it's going to be that's sort of the game plan for each of them, and it's the impetus is on Hayes first to start that damage, and which now he has, and now it's on Harpster to respond to that.
Yeah, like Harpster, I think lost another ship off the top. So like his space package has taken at least a little bit of a hit.
Oh,
So
Bastion makes an excellent point.
Yeah, I saw that one.
He says wise advice. The shield does nothing against sense, canceling, and react, and of course Hayes has those non-unique reacting
non-unique
troopers, the
guys,
3-dot
yeah.
guys. They'll come down as a react. Harpster will sense it, and it'll just go back to Hayes' hand. But wise advice did nothing there as the sense goes used. Whereas with do or do not out, they'd go back to hand, same thing, but sense would be lost and one force. So yeah, that I don't really understand why he played that wise advice. The Vanden Willard is the only explanation I could come up with, because I'm 99% sure he doesn't have sack of his own.
You play shut down the main reactor against Rogue One. Can the ship still land at the beach if it's hyperspeed 0 or it can't move at all? We'd have to look up the card.
Yeah, let me look up what
unless
shut down
you
the
can
main
paste
reactor
the text in
says.
for us.
I'll look it up here on my phone. That's a good question. I think if it gets shut down, it can't move. Okay, shut down the main reactor says pilot a capital starship armed with a starship weapon or tractor beam use 2. Target cannot move. Yeah, so that includes landing, embarking, disembarking, or not, but ship docking, all that. And its pilots can apply ability to return by listening. Yeah, so it doesn't make it hyperspeed 0. It makes it so it can't do any movement. Oh, he raid into an it's a trap.
Yeah, he did play Ray. Got a use pile pull with Ray, and he got another it's a trap.
He retrieved that it's a trap with Luke.
Okay, but then Silverglenn's saying he might play too. Also,
Yeah.
it's a good card for no idea, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably retrieved it with Luke, played Ray, put that one that he retrieved. Just it's a good security blanket. If he's gonna come down with on that Jin with
When it's a
We
trap,
need to
also
be maul
cancels
anything.
sniper, right? So
It
that's
does.
another good use for it's a trap
And
is
it looks like he
canceling.
adds Bodhi Rook onto
Rogue
Rogue
One
One as well. And he's still just got that lone saw holding the
at the
doing 3 damage there at
I
the
wonder if he'll
beach.
move Ray over or
No, he's
Ray's
just
just
going.
gonna stay there. He's just going super wide.
He's just going wide. He's saying
Yep.
react to me, do something. And
Because
now he
yeah, I
gets
mean
to
Steve's
activate
not gonna be able
one,
to.
or Harpster does one less, and Harpster says go ahead and activate one. Um, yeah, I mean I feel like he has to respond to that saw, especially since Ray's not a spy. He can't, if he kills Saw and the plans relocate over,
Then
he
he
can't
can't
just
immediately
throw
pick
it
him
onto
back
Ray
up.
immediately. However, now that we know he has it's a trap. If there's no, they're still coming through. That's a pretty solid
Yeah.
um, way to just shut down
Because
battles.
yeah, if he's running to it's a traps and he's already retrieved one of them, like he could potentially pull that off 3 times this game. Like that would be
At
pretty
least,
crazy.
yeah. So, Harpster's using his second indoor shield pull. The first one was for Thrawn.
Okay.
And the second one shows him a Phasma and something else. Interestingly, that unless he was doing that in his activate and now deciding to activate those last two, he should. Oh, he's flipped, so he can't use that pull.
Yeah, you can't use the
But he could in his deploy phase use establish secret base to look for an
to
indoor
look for a
site.
site, right?
So then he doesn't have to waste an indoor
And he also
shield.
has power of the hut, which also gives him another search.
True, but he might have been worried about pulling something. But probably FMON and Space Cruiser are the only things that
He already
that
has
pull.
Space Cruiser in his hand, which
Right.
is now deployed in front of Scarif, in front of Bodhi, Luke, and the Rogue One.
And Rogue One is totally immune to attrition there because of the Scarif text. But it can, of course, be massively outpowered.
That's Boba or
Dr.
Ponda
E
Baba,
combo.
Dr. E.
Who adds 3 to power the Space Cruiser and only accepts alien pilots, which he is.
Yep. And then the laser cannon battery, which goes on the Jabba's
Any capital starship.
Space
Yeah.
Cruiser. Yep.
So Harpster's hoping to kick Hayes out of space here, hit the ship, and then Hayes will have to pay to drain, pay to drain, pay to drain, pay to drain. Like, so this is what we were expecting from both players, and now it's going to be who has. Oh, there's a relentless pursuit.
That's a glare spot for us.
He plays something in front of Jin.
If the Mustafar castle was attached to the Mustafar system, this wouldn't be an issue.
I don't know what that card is.
I'm gonna go in there and see what it is.
We'll probably see in battle
Yeah.
if he loses it or.
I imagine it's
doesn't-
just a character who can draw on their own.
Yeah.
Tarkin or somebody.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I don't see an icon, so it's not like Sidious or.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably Gramoff. Okay, so he pays to battle in space, I believe. We need one of those the things where GIMP where it just like highlights, puts a little box around the location
Around the
that's
battle.
battling. Yeah, and
with the
tells
little
us their
numbers
total
on the
power.
side and how many destinies they're getting.
He's just lost a. Oh, because he's playing. It can keep your eyes open. So he plays keep your eyes open, and he lost. We're doomed non-combo to because you have to lose a force, and Harpster plays 2 to shut down the main reactor. It says pilots can't apply their ability towards Drawn Battle Destiny, so Hayes will have no destiny.
Yeah, so until the end of your next turn, target cannot move and its pilot may not apply ability towards drawing battle destiny.
Yeah, and that puts Hayes in a tough spot because since he's flipped, he can't pull any ships with his objective. That's only on the front side.
Right.
It can't move. It's not going to be able to. So
Can't land.
So he can't land. So Harpster will get in one more battle because it's the end of his next turn. John Michael says he paid 5 for the card at Jin's site, so that would mean it's not
Maybe like an Arica or a
Tarkin.
Mara Jade EPP.
I was thinking it might be a Sidious, but I don't see a Dark Jedi icon. So we'll see. All right, so they're counting up power.
Is he gonna shoot the laser cannon battery, or does he want to just keep that ship
No,
there?
keep
you
your eyes
think?
open.
Oh, right. He played keep your
Yep,
eyes open. You're
yep.
right.
Hayes did not want to get shot down. So Hayes will at least get this round of free drains in because of, well, I mean, I guess Harpster's power is 8 plus he'll probably draw 3-ish. We saw Phasma and something else.
Quite a mercenary. He's
Cancel
going to cancel the
Doctory's
game text of a
text.
smuggler.
Ooh, he's not saving that for FMon to beat him down. That's crazy. So
Right.
he's taken 3 power away by canceling Doctory's text. So now Harpster's only power 5, and Rogue One is power, I think, base 2. Bodhi probably adds 2, and Luke adds 3, so that's 7. He's going to use Relentless Pursuit, which will make it power 0.
Wow, yeah, Harp's just getting all the
He's got all his tricks.
all the
Alright.
tricks.
EPP Maul got lost from use to do that. So now Hayes is power 0 with no Battle Destiny, and Harpster's power 5 with a Destiny of 2. So 7 to 0. So Bodhi covers, I believe, 7. I think he's base forfeit 5 and Insurrection adds
Yeah.
2. So Bodhi covers it, and I think you can make a regular move with something when he's lost.
Yeah, Bodhi has some pretty cool text. We saw
let's
some
go
of
ahead and
that.
look up. Of course, Rogue One can't move right now, and I don't think it benefits him moving anyone else. So he did not shoot with laser cannon battery because Hayes played Keep Your Eyes Open to stop.
Okay, and he adds 3 to the Rogue One.
But it's power 0 right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah, adds 2 to anything, 3 to Rogue One. Okay. Or stolen ship.
And then, if about to be lost, your rebel or rebel starship at a related location may make a regular move.
Okay. So
But
Saul's
since-
the only one eligible, and,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to move Saw because he's about to drain 2. All right, so Harpster pays 1. I'm guessing he's battling Jin with the mystery card.
With the the mystery character at the castle, the deploy 5 character.
Someone was guessing Darth Vader V. Oh, it does look like Darth Vader's helmet. Yep, you're right. That's got to be Darth Vader. Which is, oh, maybe he pulled him with no, because he only had 2 in the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Darth Vader. But he must have paid 6.
It might have,
Michael thought he paid
He's-
5 for him. We weren't paying attention. He must have paid 6, and it was Darth Vader. So Hayes pays 3 to react with the Trooper to go with Jin, and the Trooper covers 5 forfeit, so he'll be able to.
So I
soak
guess
that
he's
and
not
still
going to
get it.
sense the react, because we know Harpster has
If
that
he,
sense.
well, if he he only has 1 left in his
Oh,
reserve,
right.
so if he senses the
Okay.
react, he gets no battle.
Can't battle this, and
So
it's just a 1
previous
anyway, right?
1.
Or yeah.
And so he retrieves. Yeah, look, and no secret plan still. So he draws a spy.
There he
now
goes.
Harpster pulled his like fuck secret plan.
What did you say about 20 minutes ago in regards to pulling shields?
Yeah, so Harpster now does it after the second time. It's like that's my tip for the people watching who find themselves making those mistakes. It's like, all right, you made the mistake, move on, fix it immediately, don't wait. So it looks like Hayes was down 1 in power, so he peeled the Grievous that he drew for Battle Destiny. Oh
And
no,
he's
he was
gotta
down like 3 or
peel
4.
3
Jin's-
overflow.
Jin's 4.
But he kept Vader there.
Reacting Troopers 3, that's 7, and he drew a 3, that's 10. And Vader was 1 and drew a 1.
So yeah, he was 7 to 10.
Or 6 and drew a 1, 7 to 10, so he peeled 3. So yeah, that Reacting Trooper was pretty big. And not having the Destiny for Sense, only
Yeah.
having the 2 in reserve.
Right.
2 Destinies in reserve.
Because yeah, if you had a Destiny for sense, you sense the trooper react.
Yeah.
And that whole ball game is different.
Yeah, alright, so he just used a search with something. So there's a Gick in there. See, so I really think Hayes should have just drawn a decent hand. Of course, if there's a Gick, there's probably also a Masterful and a Monarch in there.
Right, like what you said.
Yeah,
Use
there's
quite a
Masterful
mercenary
combo.
on
Quite a
Efant
mercenary
Mon.
and come down and beat.
Piet and Efant Mon up.
That's alright. So right now, in his control phase, he's going to drain 1 at Endor Docking Bay, 1 at the Vault, 2 at the beach, and ping for 1. So Harpster's going to eat another 5 after just peeling 3.
3 overflow.
3 overflow. And the other thing is Harpster's losing, like, the power pivot, the Relentless Pursuit, it was a lost interrupt that made him lose 1. And so now Rogue One's gonna have its power back. It still won't get a Destiny, but if he can add another ship, so he loses 2 to drain at the beach, 2 what? 1. I guess Hayes told him 2 for the Stardust, and
Decree, which should have
he
reduced
forgot
it.
to use Decree to reduce it. That's an optional. So Hayes declares the 2, and Harpster would say I reduce it by 1, and he didn't. So
Yep.
Harpster just voluntarily lost an extra 1 by not doing that, and now Luke will ping retrieve 1. So
Yeah.
he loses a sense from hand. Not sure I agree with that, especially with do, there is no tryout, so it's not costing you any force
Yeah.
to play it as a used interrupt. And clearly he has reacting guys. Maybe Harpster forgot that it cancels reacts. Um,
I mean,
the other thing
Harpster's been playing
is
this game for a long time. He's made a lot more top eights than I have.
he's also may have imbibed a little bit this
No,
morning.
he's been known to do that. I mean, he made the finals last year, and he
That's
was
true.
high as a kite
That's
the whole
true.
time.
um, Keep your eyes open is not immune to sense,
Nope.
which he also didn't have the destinies for it last turn. But that's another reason to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Is at some point you're going to want to be shooting that laser cannon battery.
Yeah.
And at some point he might, I mean, he might get out a solo that can play that keep your eyes open from Lost,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so keeping that sense is,
Should have kept that one.
I feel like
Unless
it,
he
yeah.
maybe drew
I mean,
into
even
another
if he
one
had
that we don't
two,
know of.
there's no downside right now to having it without do it or not out.
Yeah, when it's flashing, you're muted.
All right, so Vanden Willard, who
Vanden Willard goes and hangs out with Jinner, so
has the
against
3PO
Vader.
text, which Hayes uses right here, places a card used to. He works when Stardust is on your spy, or the plans is on table, or you have a Senate majority.
A liberated system, also.
Oh, a liberated
right,
system. Maybe
right.
it's not Senate majority.
Yeah, I think
Liberated
it's
system.
yeah. So he kind of is the utility character for the Y4 ops for Diplo.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool
no
that they
idea.
gave those sort of scrub decks a 3PO helper guy that,
Mhm.
and he's a Alderaanian, so he works draining with
And he's
Bale
he's a rebel and he's like a leader, so you can pull him with
with the War Room.
yeah,
Yeah,
things like
I
So
think that's a really
that
well
was
designed card.
Very well designed
I like
card.
that. Okay, so Hayes is going for some overflow on Vader here.
He's going for the beatdown.
He played Cassian, so he's going to cancel his destiny. And he's got a trooper and Vanden Willard, so he's going to outpower Vader, and he saw that gick in the verify, so he's
So
like,
maybe I can get
Vader
some.
covers
He
14 on his own.
Smells blood.
Jin's 4,
Vanden's
2,
2,
4,
Cassian's
3,
4.
so 4, 8, 9, 10, 13, and Vader covers 14. So if you can
Draw a high enough destiny here.
higher than a 1, he's killing Vader, peeling a few, and then he locks down that drain at 2.
Yep.
So he draws
Yutani,
Tawny,
which I think is a 2 or a 3.
and then, yep, and then he cancels. So it'll be Vader and 1 or 2.
So yeah,
he
not
uses
a,
Cassian.
not a ton of overflow, but
Interesting. Who did? It looks like he.
he's
Ooh.
peeling the finalizer.
It,
and,
it, it looks like he played another dude to space, and I think that's Wedge Red Squadron leader.
okay.
Meaning,
Yeah, Big Dick Wedge.
yeah, because Luke is piloting Rogue One, he is a
Rogue Squadron
pilot.
pilot.
That Luke might already be because he matches with. I don't remember the rules on.
I don't
which
think
Lukes
that one
are,
is. I think only Commander Luke
Okay,
is
yeah,
by
I don't know.
default.
But anyone piloting Rogue One is a Rogue Squadron pilot.
Yeah.
So Wedge on that with anyone can cancel the destiny. So now, since Harpster already used his Relentless Pursuit, Rogue One has its power back. It just can't draw a destiny. So, but it's going to be power 8 and cancel opponent's destiny to Harpster's 8.
Does
once
Wedge
his
work
destiny's
on
canceled.
weapon destinies or just battle destinies?
Just battle.
Oh, okay. So it could be
he
nice
could
against
still
the
get shot
laser
down.
cannon.
Yeah, he could still get shot down, but he's not going to be taking overflow since he can't move away. If the laser cannon does miss, or if he has another keep your eyes open, then he'll be able to start just running away in space and just doing damage on the ground.
Right.
I mean, Harpster's just starting to take massive damage and not doing much.
Right.
He'll drain 2 at the Endor site this turn. But yeah, I think the problem here when you want to make decks like these as dark, because they seem fun. You got the big blue and you got the weapons and space weapons and their interrupts, and
It's just like you're trying to do
slow.
too much, though.
It's
yeah.
slow and yeah. Harpster's already got down pretty low in force. Finalizer's not even out. I don't know that he's
He
ever
just
gonna be
lost
able
it to
Oh,
the overflow
okay.
in that last battle.
Yeah, so I was gonna say I don't know that he'll be able to afford it, and he decided, yep, he didn't have enough in life force, lost the finalizer. Like this is not the space plan he wanted. He's not even able to he's never ominous drained. He hasn't drained in space at
Yeah.
all. So Hayes top decks 2.
Yeah, and that's a good point by Justin in the chat. With Wedge on that ship now, he does get a draw if unable to otherwise
Oh,
on the Rogue One.
ooh,
So,
good point from Desai. Wedge, when piloting, lets him draw if unable to otherwise, and he is not able to otherwise because his pilots can't provide their ability towards. So now he gets a destiny and cancels. Harpster has to shoot that into a losing battle to kick him off.
yeah, because Wedge just is when if unable to otherwise when piloting.
Yeah.
So yeah, he pilots anything, he gets one if unable to otherwise. He's not quite as good as Poe Dameron as a pilot, but he's close.
Yeah, and much better if he's got a rogue
What
pilot with
happened?
him.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with that copy of Luke.
I'm guessing that
That
Luke
was.
was that the card placed out of play with Cassian, maybe?
Oh, maybe that's
I
right.
don't know why you would place Luke out of play though instead of like a generic dude or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Tarkin comes down to the beach,
Tarkin.
which I think is just gonna be a waste of time because he'll react with another reacting trooper, and Tarkin will die, and the trooper will die. But like I mean, Harpster has to do something. Maybe you don't battle and you just
Cover up the drain.
cover the drain of two. But if you don't, then he
He's
just
gonna battle on
deploys
top
and
of
battles
you.
on top of you. Yeah. So
There's
Hux comes down
Hux.
and he gets a
You
use
bow
pull.
pole.
Yeah. I mean, Hayes has. I think he has three.
Yeah,
So
he has enough to pay. It's a trap, yeah.
It's a trap or reacting
Dodge
trooper.
or yeah, reacting trooper.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
Harpster's just gotta
it's
gotta
looking
keep this
like
one
a big
close at
solid
this
win
point.
for Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Harpster's definitely got to be looking to cut diff here. But if he can go in space, fight that losing battle because of Wedge, and shoot down the ship, he pays 3
And we got a 6
to
track.
laser cannon
So
battery.
is he just battling against?
Yeah, so he battled in space. He hit the rogue
laser
one.
cannoned. Okay.
He paid 3 to add.
But he's not gonna have a destiny because
No.
that was the only thing he had tracked. Yeah. But hitting the Rogue One is, I mean, that's all of Hayes' space, and stops the retrieval from Luke and stuff like that. So I can see that being okay.
Right, now Hayes is going to have to pay a lot to drain. And yeah, he didn't bother to draw a Battle Destiny because he knows Wedge is canceling anyway.
Okay.
So Hayes loses one because laser cannon battery, when it hits a ship, makes you lose one. It's got the built-in little ping. So he top decks Melshi. And Hayes counts up his power. Hayes did not draw Destiny, so he missed Wedge's text like we did. Desai knew it, and I'm assuming there's no reason why you wouldn't draw Destiny there and
Yeah,
try and
'cause, I
crack
mean,
a 5 and
the only
or draw a Spy and pay 1 to retrieve. Harpster had no force
like,
left, no reserve
drawing
left.
Destiny is
If
just
you,
a fun thing to do for no idea because you can.
Yeah, you might get a Spy and retrieve one.
Right.
You might draw 5 and kill one of the dudes so it can't shuttle down later. Like
Right. Yeah. Get rid of Hux or Dr. Evazan off of there.
clearly just forgot Wedge's text.
Yeah.
I will berate him afterwards. Hayes is also going on very little sleep, as is a lot of the top 8. Hayes was a little tilted this morning. He
was up till
Showenthal
3
told all
a.m.
the top 8 to get there at 9 a.m. and turn in deckless, and Hayes and Eric were there, and Harpster. Those were the 3 there, and everyone else rolled in at about 9:50, 9:55, and got an extra hour of sleep. Alright, so starts his control phase damage, drains at, pays to drain at, so he just pinged Stardust 1, but now he pays 3 to drain for 2 at Mustafar. Harpster top decks 2, Gravity Shadow, oh no, Accelerate and Command.
I think he's got a
Harpster's left
Snoke and a Thrawn.
Yep.
The other 2 cards he has in hand.
Yeah.
Snoke would be alright. Get you a use pile pull.
Yeah, I think Snoke would have been better than Tarkin, except that he couldn't have afforded him.
Yeah.
And
Maybe Snoke can go down against Rey, clear her out of there, or go down against Ezra, clear him out of there, something like that. Maybe at least
yeah,
slow some damage or.
Well, Hayes is not draining free, so Rey and Ezra didn't do any damage.
That's
this
true.
turn.
That's true.
So they're less of a threat as long as Hayes isn't in space. But we know he plays more ships than just that one, so presumably something will go to Jakku or Mustafar at some point.
Especially since we've pretty much
And if
seen
that
Harpster
site was
lose all of
related,
his,
he could drop, Bright Hope or Tanev or something to
and then
Mustafar and
scoop up
shuttle up
some.
a bunch of those dudes he doesn't need down there.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure they
anyway,
know that it's related. It's just weird that it's on the other side of
I don't know.
Endor.
Sometimes you just don't think of that stuff when
Yeah,
it's separate like that. Oh, geez.
that's
So
the commando team.
he dropped.
Taidu
I th-
Selpha
yeah, which
and
let him draw from bottom of used, and then he played a Hera, which is going to give him an extra destiny. Then he played the Power 8 Rebel Trooper Squad,
so
Endor
this could be a
Trooper
beatdown
Squad.
against,
So
and
this
there's
is
no
going to be a
Gick in
big,
hand for Harpster. So
yeah. So he pays to battle. He's Power 19-ish to
yeah,
4.
and Hayes, yeah, and sorry, and Harpster doesn't have a Gick.
Pays 1 to Walkling out of play because he knows this
He
will
knows
probably.
this is going to be the end.
Yeah.
He doesn't get extra destiny from Hera because,
He does. He's with an Imperial.
but it flipped EOPS.
Oh, yeah, EOPS. Okay, good call. All right, so he draws Bright Hope, which is a 3. So I think he's around 22. I can't
It's
remember.
21, 22, something like that. I think you're right.
Yeah, it's Selchuk is. Ooh, he
Oh,
does
he
draw
let
the
him.
extra
He
one
let him.
because they
Or is
forgot.
there a destiny to? Oh God, he's drawing 3 destinies.
Why? This game should be over pretty soon, and then we'll go in and scout the other games and tell you kind of where they're looking at.
I wonder how much Hayes is going to win here by.
I don't even know why he got that third destiny. He didn't. He doesn't have instant Chad for Destiny Power. Maybe he redrew one of them with Hera.
Yeah, maybe that's
So
what
he
it
probably
was.
thought he got 2 Destiny. Redrew one with Hera. But
Yeah, Greg
yeah,
Shaw just pointed that out. Thanks, Shaw.
yeah, but he should have been capped at 1.
Yeah.
Either way, I think that may only add 2 to 3 to his power. Oh,
Yeah.
so right now, all those spies are power +1 from the beach and power +1 from the flipped objective being with the Stardust.
Right. So maybe we did have the power off by
there's
about
8 more
4.
power that I didn't count. All of them are +2 power that I did not count.
And
so
there's
that's
no Gick.
probably
He's
30-ish.
going to cover for 6, and he drew. I forget what Harpster drew, but he's got 4 power, 6 4, so that's 10, and then he drew. Even if he drew a 6 or something like.
Yeah, you can only cover 16 versus 30 something.
16.
He's feeling at least 14. I don't
And
think
I don't think he
it.
has that much.
Yep, so I don't think the extra destiny even mattered. I think he's overflowing him for more than he has left. And
So yeah, they're counting up everything. But should be a pretty healthy win for No Idea, which usually doesn't end up winning by a lot because that's kind of put a lot of cards on the table.
well, like I said, the problem is Harpster getting any damage in.
Yeah.
He got in 1 drain the whole game. 1 drain at the Endor site once he could, because earlier he didn't want to pay the 3,
Yep.
and so it was just
All right.
1. So those all go to Harpster's lost pile.
So we saw a handshake. So
Yeah, but Harpster should take his 2 cards from his hand out so he can lost pile count.
yeah,
I don't know.
maybe go do that. Let
Yep.
him know, and then see what the other matches are looking like. All right, Joe's gonna hop in there and see if he can get us a life force total differential on that one, and check on the other games. Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be more like 25. Like, this is going to be a crazy No Idea win. No Idea doesn't win by that much, usually, in my experience. But that might even be enough for Steve just to concede. 26. That's what Shaw counted on the stream. So, are they going to play? Are they going to play the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if we could switch matchups. Because we know maybe there's a more competitive one. Well, because are you going to win by 27 with your light side deck? I mean, I guess it's possible. But winning by 27 after you lose by 26 seems pretty hard.
All right, quick updates on 2 of the other games. I just glanced and don't hold me to this because it's sometimes hard to glance and see everything, but it looked like Stubley's No Idea was beating Mishki's Entanglements by a pretty healthy amount.
Okay.
And it looked like Eric's No Idea and Dennis's map were fairly even.
Okay.
And I'll go look at the other game and see if
Nice.
any of them are close to ending, so that we can swap the stream. Because just simply because the next game might end with a pretty quick scoop.
Right.
If
If
Harpster's like,
Harpster, yeah.
I can't get this to 26 and scoops on turn 3, we're gonna have a bunch of dead airtime.
Right. So I'd
So
like to.
yeah, not that we don't want to see Harpster and him again. It just, with that big of a differential, it might lead to an early scoop. So
Cool. And if you
we'll
have
see.
any if you can, someone's asking for Taco Bill beef red updates.
I'll check on that one next.
All right. So the first game of the top 8 is in the books, at least for this matchup. Like I said, we're going to try to switch from this matchup to another one for game 2, just simply because of the differential. Obviously, it would be pretty awesome if Harpster did make that comeback, but I think you and I will both agree that that's a pretty unlikely scenario. So if we can get one that's a little more of a 10, 15 differential instead of almost 30, might get a better game too. So thanks guys for checking out the stream. Endor Grand Prix 2020. Harpster,
Want to interview me? I won't drop so many F-bombs.
pick up your headset here.
I got some insight on the deck decision. I think
Yeah,
was
we liked kind of some of the deck choices that were in there with like. Yeah, I think everybody can hear you good. Welcome, Steve Harpster here. We'll switch it over to this one here, so a little better. Um, yeah. So that game, against Hunter, the no idea versus your indoor ops. Do you kind of want to talk us through
Yeah.
sort of the strategy behind that indoor deck?
yeah. So
We liked some of the cool like
yeah. So
LCBs and reactor and all that stuff.
yesterday I played a Dark Side Senate variant of it. What I discovered is that Trade Federation Tactics pulls the blockade support ship and also the
Invisible hand. Okay.
Well, both those ships happen to work with laser cannon batteries and Teihao. So yesterday I played a
Okay.
Dark Side Senate that kind of locked down people on the ground. And
Teihao
in
is
space
really
with it.
strong in space with
Well,
that.
it works really good with the synergy of deck because you can pull Teihao with like the Phantom Menace, or you can pull him with Lord Sidious, or
Okay.
just the synergy.
All right, I like that.
Really good yesterday. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to adopt that same premise on Endor Ops because I thought today was going to be still throne room heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just going to throw in the power of the HUD because I knew that Cannon, Connor?
Connor, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that Connor could play the no idea deck. So the premise of it was
Against
to
no
do with
idea.
FM on, but yeah, but at the last minute I threw in the Jakku system and the finalizer.
Okay.
And I think in hindsight, and then I took out the Teihao and the second invisible hand and my second Trade Federation tag.
Okay.
But then he goes to a non-Jakku system. I'm sitting there with finalizer in my hand, and then I can't pay 13
Yeah.
and shoot him in the same turn.
Right,
So,
that's a little expensive for
yeah,
sure.
it ended up being a horrible call on swapping the Jakku system and finalizer, but
Okay.
such is life on not being able to test that side of it. But I think if I would have been able to go up earlier, it would have been good. Yes, Jar Jar still comes in.
And also the quite a mercenary V, it cancels the smuggler's game text, and Mon is a smuggler. So like that one we were.
Well, that's why I throw another guy down.
Right,
I
yeah,
don't
you had
just say-
Piet with
I
him,
don't
yeah.
just say F it Mon and go.
Yeah.
We do know. I mean, Jar Jar was in my light side.
No, we saw a couple Jar Jar beatdowns for sure
Yeah,
yesterday.
and that's not the case. And I also play with Gick. I swapped up my Endor Ops and I ran the Masterful Move combo because I saw that Diplo, kind of the same one Bastion played. And in Endor Ops, where they do that spread,
The spread,
like,
it's really hard.
My guys got 6-4. So, I think again, if I would have been able to go up space a little early, I think my opening hand was about 5 cards I can pull, which that obviously sucked, but he's played good, and he got the jump. I even lucked out and got like Imp Decree in my
Yeah, we saw they got Decree out early. That was nice.
yeah, in the I think my third turn when I was drawing up, I knew it was in there, but I didn't know where.
Right.
But lucked into drawing it up there. Yeah, unfortunately, I just couldn't get space, and then he spread, and then I have to use like Darth Vader on the ground, and it was
Right.
slow.
So what
It
are
was
you
just
playing
really slow.
for light side?
Uh, I'm gonna hold off on saying that.
Okay.
Just tell we sit at the table.
Yeah,
and
Justin.
reveal.
Justin was asking. So,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I mean, the losing in the first matchup by 26 that makes it a little tough. But do you think you have a chance to come back?
Typically, I think I would scoop, but I'm not gonna do it this light side because I do have the chance to win by
Okay.
that much. So.
All right. Cool. We were definitely kind of wondering what was going to happen with that, but best of luck, man. Thanks. Sorry you didn't go.
No, no,
as,
no.
the way
Actually,
you
I was
really.
going to talk about that a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I noticed on the little fantasy contest, like no one even picked me.
Really?
Not even go top 8. I kind of feel like I top 8 almost every event I go to, but
Yeah, you know, I mean, especially like this one. Last year you were in the finals. This year top 8. I kind of forget the 2 years before that, but you
well,
know.
I mean like NPC,
Yeah,
and
you've done.
Worlds and all that.
Yeah,
Stuff.
but you know,
I mean, I understand. I don't really play on GAMP, but what people do not realize is I know I've been very boisterous about GAMP, but I live out in the woods,
Right.
so I have satellite internet.
okay.
So if you take the already chess clock 2 hour game minimum
Right.
type situation, and you throw my lag time in, and then the fact that I have like ADHD, I'm just
It would just take you too
yeah,
long to get a game in.
I'm losing my mind.
You'd be like Angelo on Gemp. He takes a long time.
Justin, you'll like my light side, man. It's KTOD influence, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Big guys, high destiny.
Big guys and high destiny.
Shit,
Peace,
that
love, and
happened,
high
yeah.
destinies, right?
Yeah, my dark side just was really slow. I didn't like it. Yeah, dude, I'm all about to collaborate decks. Werfs, it's kind of like a one-way conversation. I just tell him what decks I think are good, and he plays them. But yeah, if you ever talk deck strategy with Chris Werfs, you know what I'm talking about. He'll go off on a tangent, and he'll be referring to a card on the opposite side.
Yeah,
of the field,
I've seen decks from him on Gemp where he's been playing a lot of pod racing. He's been playing a lot of crazy stuff. So
well,
yeah.
and that's the thing. He's like he'll bring out that Dark Side Senate was actually inspired by Michael Arisman and Joe Phillips.
Okay.
So
That was one you played yesterday,
as
right?
the people got accustomed to yesterday, our local community loves laser cannon batteries and quads.
Tractor beams. And...
Oh yeah, and all that. So it is definitely kind of a, I don't
Yeah,
know.
the
if
Endor
your guys'
meta-
local metas. Is
No,
like
yeah,
that,
like
but-
I'm sure the Endor meta is kind of unique in that regard because you have a large play group up here, and you've got a lot of different deck builders, guys like Joe Phillips, Mike
Yeah.
Erisman.
See, and
you
all these guys are just waiting for tractor beams to become on GAMP.
Yeah.
And
Tractor
there's
beams
a
are
large
probably hard to
There's a
program.
large group of us that don't want tractor beams on GAMP because it's ridiculous.
Right. I mean, it seems like a lot of the stuff that's not on Gemp is the kind of hard to program things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, and the other interesting thing is Gossi just moved into town. And Gossi used to collaborate with, I think, Emil and a few of those guys.
yeah, he's got the
and
European
honestly,
influence.
I mean, before he even came into I've never even played against No Idea. I have no
Yeah.
idea what the hell the deck does. I actually tried to play a test game with it last night.
Yeah,
just,
I was-
just to
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
understand the premise of it, and thankfully I did. It at least gave me a better idea before
Of
I
what
played
to
Hayes
do.
this morning. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting.
I think
deck.
like Joe Olson was saying, he feels like No Idea is, if not the best light side deck, it's number 2 behind a Throne Room.
That's the thing is everyone tiers decks, but like I consider myself an innovative deck builder. Like I go on Gamp and you see like I don't know, there's 5 people playing Justin's decks. There's a lot of people
Right,
playing
a lot of net decking and just-
Olson's Throne Room variant. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
Chris Kelly versions, things like
well,
that.
and that's the thing that I really like. I like the Ryan Jellisons. I like Reed. I like K2OD as a group that they come up with their inspirational decks. I like the inspiration that comes out through deck building because, in my opinion, if there's a variable on the what it takes to win a game, I think it's probably it's 80% playing skill and 20. It's still 20%, 30% around that range on the deck building side, right? And
right.
that's where like people like Tom Hayde do really good. Reed has got some cool stuff.
Like I
Ryan
said,
Jellison.
There's a lot of clever deck builders out there for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do. I just try to bring something unique that people haven't. And
No, yeah, it was cool. We had
sometimes
to
it
look up a
strikes
few
out,
different
for sure.
cards during your game, like there's the what was the one? The shut down the main reactor. That's
Yeah.
a pretty cool card. It's
Well, and that's
kind of
yeah,
like
and that
Clash in space.
yeah.
And you had
Well,
like
and
power
that's the
pivot.
thing is the rest of the Endor group they'll run like 5 laser cannon batteries, 5 shutdown, and so I just try to take their mechanic
Take a
and
little bit and kind of
three
splash it
cards,
in.
throw it in Dark Side Senate deck, and it works.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
no, it was kind of cool.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it was great to hear a little more insight from you. I think we're probably coming up pretty close to the end of the first games, so we'll take a little 5 minute break. I need to use the restroom, get some water and stuff like that. But thanks, guys, for joining us. We're up to 40 viewers, and we're just at game one. So um, yeah, watch out for those pilots who draw if unable to otherwise, says Brian. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
And the, if unable to otherwise, I'll get it. But really, all it is sometimes it's just to stop them from moving,
Yeah.
stop them and draw multiple ballot essence. Because a lot of times, what I was doing in Dark Side saying is use the site, deploy Vader, get a ship, deploy the system, shuttle them up. It's kind of like a two-part process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
But yeah, them not being able to move, even like Rogue One, like you can't even land. Like not you can't move from system to system, but you can't even land the Rogue One,
Yeah.
which is also really good because sometimes like okay, well I'll just land the Rogue One, everybody will get out, and then rejoin the battle later. But that shut down the main reactor, those weapon cards, they have some pretty crazy interactions. Like I said, like the power pivot or relentless tracking,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It creates some crazy blowout situations in space.
Yeah, I think
so.
there's a lot of fun decks to play right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people think it's pretty stagnant.
I
but
think Darkseid's just gonna have to get clever, kind of like what you were doing
well,
there.
so let's like light side. You got right. You got Throne Room, Hitco. I think Hitco and Throne Room are probably tier one.
You've got no idea. You've got
I see no idea, but I still don't like. What happens if you play against Hunt Down, starts empty Kree, and they just go after you?
I feel
mean,
like a lot of people say that Hunt Down is a favorable matchup for no idea.
I don't see it because here's the deal. I just played against the deck. They activate 11 force, and whether your guys cost 2 or 3, you still have to deploy. You still have to activate. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
The-
Hunt Down's not going to give you a single icon.
Yeah, the big key is like if you can make them fight at the data vault,
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
you know.
They're going to take over your beach.
Yeah,
And if
that's
you
fair.
drain one and it's a reduction with empty Crete, then I'm draining for 3 on your beach and
Yeah.
take your drain 1 ping 1 location. You
Not
know?
bad, not bad. Yeah, I mean,
And
I certainly don't know the matchup very well, and
Well,
Hunt
and I
Down
think- I
seems like it's in a bad spot right now. But
Well, yeah. Well,
everybody says it. But I mean, Connor made top 8 yesterday, and he was playing Hunt Down.
I think it depends who's playing it, right?
True.
I mean, a lot of people think, Hunt Down automatically loses to old allies. Well, it kind of depends who's
You have to, yeah. Who's
who-
playing
who's
old
playing,
allies, right?
So I think that's the variation where I hear and I see a lot of interaction on the how the deck matchups go, but a lot of the information's inaccurate.
Right. That's fair. All right, guys. I'm gonna take a quick break.
Yeah, good
Thanks,
talking to you
Harpster,
guys.
for
I'm gonna
joining
go
me for
smoke.
that little bit. Yeah, let's go
Peace.
outside for a moment, and we'll be back with you guys in just a few for our next game. Yeah, I'll be out there in just a sec.
Hey everybody, Joel Olson here. The current status is Taco Bill just no, I'm good. They should be able to hear me. Taco Bill just beat Beef Red by 6, and so we are going to switch them to the stream since, as you saw in that first game, Hayes won by 26. There's potential for turn 3 Harpster to just be like, well, I can't win this by 26, 27. I scoop, and then we have a lot of dead air. So we decided to go with a little bit of dead air here while waiting for another game to finish that was closer, and that hopefully you all enjoyed the interview that Jerry did with Harpster about that first game, and now you'll be able. Hey, Mishki, what was the result? Mishki lost by 13 to Stubley in his game one. So we have results from 3 of the 4 games in the top 8. We are just waiting on the Eric versus Dennis game. But we're going to switch Taco Bill and Beef Red onto the stream so that that match is +6 for Taco right now, and will probably come down to the wire. Should be a pretty exciting game 2 for us. We'll be they're just taking a little break in between games, and then we will be back shortly. One more quick update. Just got word that Eric won game 1 by 20, and if you missed some of the earlier results, Mr. Schoenthal, the tournament director, has posted all of them on the forums, which hopefully they're up as of this moment. So to recap, Hayes +26, Eric +20, Stubley Connor plus, I think I said 13, and Taco Bill +6.
Yeah, I got it. Make sure that we're good.
All right, everybody.
Hello, we're back.
We are back. Jerry's gonna work on activating.
So we've got, we're going to switch streams to Brian Fred and Bill Kafer.
Um,
And who won the first one?
Kafer won by 6.
6.
And so, yeah, Desai made a comment while we were gone about enjoying watching games where one side won by a bunch and seeing the other side trying to get it. And I definitely agree that that can be real fun. Someone, won by 23, and then the other one, gets close to right around there, and they can't let their life force get lower, and they end up winning by 24 or 22 or whatever. That's definitely quite entertaining. But there's also a big risk when it's such a blowout that turn, someone goes, well, I lost by 26. They make a desperation play, doesn't work out, and they go, well, I can't win by 27, and they scoop on turn 3, and then we have an hour of dead air time.
Right. So I think we'll take our chances.
Yeah, there's a lot higher risk of that happening with a blowout game 1. I mean, it still could happen game 2 where someone goes, oh, I won by 6, and then they get peel overflow for 20 or whatever. But we think, and just looking at Hayes and Harpster, it seems likely that is sort of a foregone conclusion. So
that one's going to be TRM versus map also.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we've seen lots of throne room map. It's unlikely that throne room beats map by 27.
I think Hayes can keep that one under
Hayes
26.
Can keep it under, and so this is maybe a little more up in the air. Of course, this matchup will be throne room. Taco Bell looks like he has throne room.
Yeah, Taco Bell's playing TRM. I don't know what B Fred's playing.
B Fred, what's your dark? I don't know. He's
talking to Kyle
He's
Kruger.
doing his B Fred thing over to Kyle. So Taco won game 1 by 6.
Do we know what the matchup was in that one?
I think it was Taco's map versus B Fred's Diplo.
Okay.
And Taco won by 6. The other, in case you are just coming back, missed some of the earlier results, Hayes Hunter beat Harpster
26.
By 26 with
no
no
idea
versus Endor EOPS. Then Eric Hunter beat Dennis with no idea versus map by 20. And Connor Britton beat Brian Mishke with no idea versus Entanglements by 13.
Okay.
Right now, I did see Mishke and Connor laying out their decks. It looked like Mishke had Prophet.
Okay.
We've
seen him play that
for
before.
Light. Yeah, he played that in the Outrider Cup round 2 recently. And I think Connor was on Hunt Down. Is that right?
Yeah, he was on Hunt Down.
Yeah, so that'll be a Hunt Down Prophet match.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, but Prophet needs to win by 14 plus.
Okay. Well, the retrieval there could make it interesting.
But
maybe an on the edge or
a
something.
Close match. So.
We got EOPS from B Fred.
Yeah. All right. So Black Sun versus
TRM.
Throne Room, and Throne Room has a 6-card advantage in the match, and it looks like he's starting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we can also start and stop the recording and give us a decent amount of time.
Yeah. Once they finish shuffling, that's a good idea. We'll separate the recording so it's easier for YouTube uploads, and they get an hour 15, I believe.
Yep.
So let's talk for a second about their starts. Brian Fred has According to My Design, which means he gets the free Emperor versus Throne Room.
He goes with Decree, Shadows, and wipe them out, all of them?
Yep. And the Decree start is good because it means once he's at a battleground, which he should, if he doesn't miss his first turn pulls, it'll be Vigo into a site, and he'll move to that site free. He'll be at a battleground right away. That means when he senses stuff, ooh, fancy Emperor with a signature on it, sideways, and he'll be at a battleground so that Decree reduces the damage from Do or Do Not Shield, so he can sense and just lose 1, and he can also do things like Barrier and only lose 1 to Weapons Display.
Yep.
So Decree is quite useful for that, and once per game he can place it out of play to get a destiny. If, for example, he throws Afra to one of the Twixes to drain, and Corrin or something, some random smoke comes down, he can pitch it for
Yeah, I
battle
like
destiny.
the decree start, but also it ended up being a little more susceptible to clash because I feel like
Right,
Crush is the other card that you
and
see started a lot with
right, and
AOBS.
Crush is great because you can also activate and then pull Monarch and make sure you didn't activate your Vigo, activate your Sight, like not miss pulls. Whereas you kind
Looks
of
like
have
they're
to go
cutting, so I'm gonna go
blind a
ahead and
little.
start it up again since
Cool.
it's about, I mean, maybe give or take 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but they're drawing hands, shaking, so yeah, we
Shake
should be,
hands. So yeah,
we at most we're 10, 15 seconds
yeah,
off of time there, so.
perfect. So, and this is
All
one
right, we got a
that could go to time.
P59, a Lana Dobreed,
Cad
Cad
Bane,
Bane, Zam
Zam,
Wessel, Vigo.
Vigo,
We couldn't tell if that was V or not.
Zuckus, and then another character. So lots of characters, almost no red.
Yeah, he's going to do it again, looks like. So I want to see if that was a V Vigo or a Reggie. Looks like a
V.
V.
Yeah, Zuckus,
Zuckus and Afra?
Afron. Oh, and then one red card that looked like maybe they're still coming through.
Yeah,
So
something
we
like that.
got Deflection, Oisa, that's
Lisa,
good for Lando.
Slando, First Aid Combo, Gianerso. We're doomed.
Oh, and JCC. So
And
Taco's got a
JCC.
great hand because he's got JCC and
And Wisa.
Wisa. And Wisa might get sensed because Emperor started on table. He'll want to pull.
Did we see a sense in Brian's head hand? I don't think we did.
Didn't. We didn't.
Yeah.
But he'd want to pull Do It or Not anyway, um, just in case to make him lose two in the sense. Oh, why would you not play the Wisa before activating? That was a mistake.
bad.
You always want to do that before activating, just in case
You activate your
you
boss
activate
Nass.
your boss Nass. So you go look for a
He's
document.
gonna look for a docking bay, and we'll see if he activated his boss. I mean, it's pretty fairly low
Well,
possibility
there's
of
still
happening, but it's
three out
pretty.
of 50 something. So
Yeah.
I mean, a 6% chance, and
We saw yesterday Steve Harpster activated one, and he paid 3 to use Walkling to pull launch in the assault, and the one
Was that
he
one?
activated was yeah.
yeah. So okay, so he does go to pull this Do It or Not shoot. He sees the boss Nass in there. He
Oh,
goes
okay,
to pull
so
his Wisa, and then he's like, "Oop, wait."
I should do this
Yeah.
first.
So with Taco starting with all that activation, that'll give him a big boost. Throne Room, when it gets no activation,
It's so
it's
hard.
a big uphill battle, and when it gets lots of activation, it just feels like everything's wonderful. So
Yeah, getting a docking bay, JCC, and the boss Nass all first or zero turn. Uh, Definitely a decent start for Bill.
yeah. So with Decree started and not Crush, um, luckily Brian got the Vigo V, but he can search for a Force Lightning.
Yeah, so you could
Emperor.
use the Emperor
So,
with
but
the Emperor
but
start.
interestingly, most times he just have to blind search and hope that he didn't activate the Vigo. Um, but yeah, he can't search for Force Lightning to make sure he didn't activate the site before he
Yep.
triggers Vigo.
All right, so now Taco Bill, after playing his sights, probably will just draw a card or two. Yep.
So let's talk about this deck's game plan in general. Give the viewers sort of an
Yeah.
overview of how this should play out. Weird stuff happens, right? But um, in general, Beefred's going to want to go to 3 battlegrounds because of his shadows, so he can start pinging.
Got a 3PO puller from Bill, so that's
Oh,
nice.
So that's another boost to Bill. Beefred goes ahead and uses the Fanfare Shield to pull Shizor's Bounty, which will let him pseudo-barrier a guy. And so Beefred, one of those battlegrounds he'll want to be is a system. If Taco Bill can take the system, if he can do Tantive with like multiple dudes, Lando and Ray and Hera and Solo and stuff, and take the system, he should straight win the game.
Right.
If Beefred is having to pay 3 to drain 1, pay 3 to drain 1, that sort of stuff, it's gonna be rough. But AOBS definitely has better space in general. They can play the Fist, which is immune less than 8, and they can put Guri up there if they need. They can play Balatik to limit Huns. They've got Jabba Space Cruiser. They have more ships. They have sort of better stuff in general.
Yeah.
So if Beefred can lock down the system and a site so that he's draining 1 and 1, and then he can kind of play to another site, Shadows ping, and then what he'll want to do. So let me pause that overarching thing.
Paying 2 to get the Shizor's Palace site out, and then that one.
Yeah, Vigo costs 2, and then download the site, and that site grabs the other site.
Yep.
So all standard play. The Black Sun agents will be able to move free over to to the Shizor's palace.
Mm-hmm.
Emperor is not a Black Sun agent, so he'll cost 1 to move, or Beefred might choose to move him into the JCC to put on some pressure early.
Not bad.
He did not pay 2 to pull
The square.
the Emperor's sight, so that
Maybe he
probably
activated it.
So going back to the game plan, Beefred will want to do that. If he can occupy a Titan system, then he can go Afra over to the Boss Nass chambers, or Probot over there, or to the Yavin 4 throne room. He can deploy a guy and move into the JCC.
Yep.
He can start going to those non-battlegrounds once he's got a Titan system and start putting on more damage. Lightside, meanwhile, is going to want to have Luke out so that Black Sun isn't flipped and taking pings from that.
Right.
And his Saber, and be paying to drain for 3. If they can take the system, that's a good option. Otherwise, they're going to want to be knocking the dark side off of those non-battlegrounds with all of their 1-0. They got a Qui-Gon, an Obi, a random Korra, a Hera, just
Ray.
like... Yeah, they've got a couple Rays,
So
Padmes.
Coruscant will probably be the only system that gets played
Yep.
this game. So
Yep.
that could be huge. Whoever ends up sort of taking over that system.
Yeah, that's definitely a crucial location. So he pays 1 to... Did he pay 1? I think he
paid
just
1.
paid 1.
Should have been a free movement there, right?
Yeah. And then he put down a card to peek at his force pile. Maybe he was paying 1 for something else.
Maybe, yeah. So there you go. He
He
figured it
paid
out.
1.
He paid
yeah,
1 to move
and
the
And
Emperor.
he's like, whoops, I paid 1, and I should have... So,
and then he draws his last card, and he can just activate 1.
So we'll just pretend he paid 1 to move Emperor, move Shizor free, and then peeked at his force pile, so that then everything's in the right order.
Yeah.
So now he pulls a Force Lightning. All right, so... now he's flipped. He can peek at his force pile right here. He'll probably activate 1 with wipe and put down that Force Lightning to peek at what it is, because then he can, if he wants that card, he can use Shadows to draw it. Shadows, if Emperor's on Coruscant, you can draw the top card of your force once per turn.
Yep.
It happens on both players' turn. And if it's Dark's turn and you occupy
occupy
3
3
battlegrounds, the light side has to lose 1. And so he doesn't occupy the 3 battlegrounds, but he can just get
Still
a free
get
card.
extra cards, yeah.
So he'll peek at that with the Force Lightning, and then if he wants it at the end, he'll save it to use it for Shizor's bounty as a pseudo barrier if he needs it. But then at the end of the turn, if he decides he wants that, he'll Shadows draw that into hand. So right now he's poised to ping for free, and so Taco's going to be counting Luke's in his reserve and saying like,
He's got 2 copies of Rey.
yeah.
I saw 1 Luke, a lightsaber, Leia's blaster, 2 copies of Leia Rebel Princess.
Okay, so Leia Rebel
That's pretty
Princess
good
can be
against the
annoying
EOPS.
because
I mean, you run
they're-
enough droids, but
they've got like 4 droids plus Jasper. But if Leia has her gun and can shoot the thing that's stopping her, she can just stop a battle mid-battle by shooting the droid lost.
shooting
and then,
Jasper.
Yeah, and then the though his defense value can
Can be
be like
pretty good.
6 because he's a base 4 plus the number of dark icons there.
He's got Leia plus blaster proficiency, can hit a lot of things.
Yeah, so Taco might want to be a little aggressive in this, depending on his draw. But he does have out. Oh, he plays another Weeso just to suck out that battle planes, and he'll probably get the 0 out of his deck. He'll probably lose that to the Black Sun ping next turn. But he's got all his activation. He's got 3PO out. He's in a good position to just slowly take a little bit of damage early and then put on some aggression.
Build up a good hand of characters. Some good interrupts.
And he doesn't have, with no crush, he knows Evader Monarch isn't capping him, so he can draw to 15, 18 cards if he needs, and just, so there Beefred does put down the card, peek at that,
1 card
and
force
he
pile.
does decide to Shadows it into hand, as expected. The only reason why you wouldn't is if it was like an Emperor or something.
Right.
You'd rather leave the 6 in there, and but a character interrupt or something. Most
Something
cards
that you
you're
need.
gonna want. Yeah. There's very few cards you wouldn't want right
And
there.
Bill's just drawing cards, so it's not like he's...
Yep. It looks like he played a See You Around kid because he just
Yeah.
took a card from
Yeah.
Force. And it looks like he's saving 4. So that's going to... Beefred is not going to be able to do much but reinforce the site. Maybe go Zuckuss and a ship to the system, but I don't know that he has the force to
Oh
support
yeah,
it right now.
he's still
so
pretty force choked because he's just getting...
He gets none from Taco. So...
Yeah. So he's just got 2 from Coruscant, 3, 4,
he's getting
5,
9.
6, 7, 8,
So
9.
if you went Zuckuss, I mean, so theoretically that could be a play here. He pings 1 with the objective. Taco plays battle plans so that he's not going to get drained. His
Yeah.
play could be Zuckus for 6. I don't think we
Forlom.
saw Cad Bane, but not Cad Bane, but the
The
what's
other.
the dude who draws from top of reserve when he's played?
Oh, is that Baniskeeg?
Yeah, Banis Keek. Like if he had that, I could see using
Mm-hmm.
all 9 to go Banis Zuckus, set up
To
the
the system.
system, and draw one from reserve.
And
End
then
your turn,
activate with
activate
wipe.
one with wipe, and then you've got the pseudo barrier. And if you have a real barrier in hand too, you can pull oppressive to make
Yeah.
Shizor's bounty free plus 1 for your regular barrier, um, and that I could see that as a play, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think with
I don't
Taco
think
saving
he,
4
yeah, he has the Zuckus, but he doesn't have the pilot.
and Taco's activating 11, so Taco's going to have 15. I think with that,
That's enough for Tantive and
yeah, and but it's also enough to threaten the ground. So I think B Fred's just going to have to
reinforce the
reinforce
ground.
He's going to pay 2 to pull the Emperor's Sight.
So yeah, since he knew it was in there this time.
Yeah, well, no, did he just pull Force Lightning again? Because it did get shuffled when he pulled Force Lightning
That's
on
true,
the
that's
opponent's turn.
true,
It
yeah.
could have been in that, but I think he pulled Force Lightning in
Yeah.
his first action.
Yeah.
Or if it was first action, maybe after he activated, he pulled it.
And uses
Yeah.
the last Shizor pull to get the sewers.
All right, so all the activation is on table now that will be on table, other than like a Qui-Gon or whatever. But so
Or the if he decides to play the battle planes, which I doubt will happen. But
right, it looks like he lost to Luke. He must have top decked that. I don't know why he wouldn't lose the battle planes here. Throne Room has to just take Coruscant sites, so keeping that in hand just clogs up your hand. Like
yeah,
I think there's almost no games where you'd against Black Sun be like, I'm gonna go play and drain at the battle planes because 2 of their 3 sites are already drained 2 sites for you. You're just giving them more for like
Yeah.
I don't understand why
I
he
would
would
probably
top
would've-
deck there over the losing the battle planes.
yeah, especially when you're trying to find Luke. Luke is your most important character against AOBS.
So right now, Beefred's
Beefred's
got
just
12
drawing.
icons plus Emperor makes including himself. Emperor makes 13. If a ship gets to a Black Sun agent gets to Coruscant, that'll be 14.
Yeah.
And Taco's got 1, 2. Oh, he only has 1 docking bay out, so there's still 1 more docking bay to go.
Okay.
Taco's got 12.
It's gonna grab the rescue in the clouds.
Yeah, which is interesting because Taco showed us his opening hand, and there was a "We're doomed" in there, and 3PO is on table.
Yeah, that's true.
And against Throne Room, normally the auto grab is rescue because they don't have those abusive interrupts. But Taco does have a "We're doomed," and Black Sun relies on a lot of little ping damage. So
yeah, drain one here, drain one here, ping
Taco
for
can,
one.
If Taco can sit and drain 3 at a site, pay 3 to drain, and Beefred goes 1 damage, and he goes shut down all the rest of the damage, including shadows damage, everything. I guess he could shadows damage in force or in activate phase, and then drain 1, so he could get through 2. But yeah, that's that grab could.
But I
come
mean,
up
yeah,
big later.
there's no way that Beefred would know that Bill has the We're Doomed since it was in
Absolutely
Bill's
not.
opening hand. You know?
Yeah, he didn't see it in verify or whatever.
So yeah, if it was in a verify, then Beefred might be aware of it, but we know that was in Kiefer's starting hand, so it could be interesting. And also, Bill's got the +6 advantage, so he can keep this one close and still come out with a victory. So We're Doomed could definitely help with that. Gets the other docking bay out, the home one, so now that should be most of Kiefer's activation except for the possible Boss Nass, or not Boss Nass, the Naboo battle planes. And now here comes Luke to the middle Shizor's Palace site. I always forget what that one's called. There's the palace and the sewer, and then there's the other one.
Uplink station.
Uplink station. I knew it was like some sort of radio tower. Or so yeah, you got the Slight Saber and Luke Rebel Scout.
Which flips back the objective.
Yeah, so now AOBS is back on the 0 side.
Plays a 3PO, or uses 3PO. So he's going to want, I think Taco Bell is going to be wanting to dig for hidden weapons, or a canceller, which is Hear Me Baby Hold Together.
Hear Me Baby Hold Together.
In case Beefred has hidden weapons. He puts Padme with Luke. so that Luke's not alone. Because if Cad Bane comes down and cancels Luke's immunity, Luke would just die if he's by himself. So he does want extra fodder with him. So he plays Ray as well. And
John Michael, I think the first matchup in this match was the map versus Diplo.
yep, and Taco Bell's map beat Beefred's Diplo by 6 in game 1.
Yeah, we switched from Hayes and Harpster over to this one just because of the full win by 26 that Hayes got. You know, if Harpster pulls that one out, yeah, it would have been awesome to see on screen, but I have a feeling that that one's not going to go Harpster's way. And Hayes was showing me his dark side deck. He's playing map with like EFAT Mon, Power of the Hut, laser cannon batteries, all that stuff.
No
So-
Power of the Hut or
Or not Power of the Hut, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's got the laser cannon batteries and some of that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
There's also a Ray joining Padme and Luke there.
Yep, and he used pulled something, probably a Clash or maybe a Sorry or something. Another interesting interplay in this matchup that I neglected to mention is Beefred will be digging for U3PO to shut down that Drain of 3 via Force Push, Tarkin's Bounty, peeking his Force Pile, that sort of stuff. Trying to find U3PO so he can play that undercover. And then I know he plays obviously Sense to stop Sorry About the Mess, and he also has Imbalance Combo to stop it. I think he may have a Ceasefire to stop it as well, so he's got a lot of anti-Sorry About the Mess stuff, and then for Corrin, a Never Yarnal. So Beefred will be digging for U3PO and the cards that protect U3PO, while Bill digs for cards to
Like, sorry about the
deal
mask,
with
Corn
U3PO.
Horn.
Yeah. So Sorry About the Mess, which maybe gets canceled, but then Solo plays it from Lost next turn or whatever. So now he does go ahead and do
That's
Zuckuss and
Zuckuss.
Forlom
Forlom.
up to space, so that adds an icon for both players and gives a second battleground to Beefred, including a battleground site and system, so he can drain for free.
Yep. And also potentially get some firepower retrieval.
The chat asks, if you are Bill, what card do you grab? And Sean D says probably Barrier.
Sense, maybe? If you're not running your own senses.
Yeah, he's got do or do nots to probably deal with those to at least make him lost.
Hidden Weapons might
Hidden
be a
Weapons
good call.
is a good grab. Barrier or Hidden Weapons, probably, yeah. Actually,
Dark
no, sorry,
Time,
Dark Time.
if
I was
you're
about
playing
to say, I was
Throne
like,
Room.
actually, I take that back.
Yeah, Dark Time for
it's
the
100%
Rebellion.
Dark Time. You have to save the grab.
If you're playing Throne Room,
because they
that
can just
card-
Shadows that into hand over and over and play that every turn
And then it's just another ping
you over and
damage.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely Dark Time. The other
Ooh, loses the Hear Me Baby off the top. That could be big for canceling Hidden Weapons.
could, yeah, unless Solo's out or something.
That's true. Yeah, now it's in Lost Pile, so it can be played with Solo.
Okay, so that forced loss was because Beefred played Zam over to the sewer, which meant now he occupies 3 battlegrounds. So he played Zam, he Shadows pinged, he drew 1, and being at 3 battlegrounds, Bill had to lose 1. He still hasn't lost that Battle Plains, which
Right.
I just
We're
don't get.
still wondering why he's holding on to that so hard.
Right.
Unless that's part of like Bill's game plan is to go there late and finish the game with a drain of 2. That's harder for him to stop over there. I don't know, but yeah, it does seem a little weird.
John Michael makes a good point that another potential source to deal with U3PO would be Jar Jar, because then Wisa can kill an undercover spy, and
Right.
he's probably running 4 Wisas, which can be sensed, but again, he's got multiple Wisas, so if he is playing Jar Jar, that's a great way to deal with U3PO. And John Michael then says Voyeur also could be another grab, and Phil Austin agrees with him. Says Voyeur's a grab. He's got Wise Advice out, and we're doomed in his opening hand. I still think Dark Time, because Voyeur isn't always going to hit, and Dark Time guarantees hits.
Yep.
And we're doomed isn't going to stop Dark Time, because it can just be done on opponent's turn, on the light side's turn, and it can be done in activate phase. And Voyeur is not going to be played on both players' turns. It's only played when light has a used pile and has to have those interrupts in it and stuff. So if you're Throne Room, I think you have to grab that Dark Time.
I think I'm with Joe here.
But yeah, Voyer's definitely. If you see Dark Time go off the top, or you see Verifies and there's no more, you think he's just playing one and it's lost, then Voyer's another good one.
Voyeur can stop We're doomed.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not bad. Good point,
yeah, you're
Nick.
right. He could play Voyeur lost and just name We're Doomed and say, okay,
It's
lost,
lost.
and then
All
We're
copies of that
Doomed.
are
Yeah,
lost.
We're Doomed goes to lost pile. Good point. Thanks. Yeah, Phil's point and Nick Reich interpreted that correctly for us that he could. So Voyeur does make sense as a grab, so you can loop or doom. But I mean, then you're just eating Dark Time over and over. So it's tough when you've got there's a lot of interrupts. It's like
Multiple grabbers, man.
yeah,
That's
that's
what you got to
that could be a
do.
thing.
You guys are wrong. Well, you were wrong.
Okay, so
Start to.
so Hayes just came in. Harpster scooped that game on turn 2. So luckily we switched streams because otherwise we'd have about an hour of
Yeah, we
dead
just
air
hit
time
20
here.
minutes here on here, so yeah, it'd be just under an hour of
Yeah.
dead time. But hey, congrats Hayes to advancing.
Yeah, congrats,
Best of
Hayes,
luck the
top
rest
4.
of the way.
What? Hey, you guys want to tell us what happened the first 2 turns? No activation for throne room, or
No, I got fuckload of accident.
I don't think we should tell them what I did.
okay? Hayes has a surprise, so he wants future opponents to not know what happened there. But
That's fair.
Hayes did something and Harpster scooped. So Hayes is now in the top 4.
So he plays Ahsoka Tano to the sewers. She gets Shizor's bountied.
Okay, so Ahsoka cannot touch Zam this turn. She can move. Unlike Barrier stops any moving and battling. The Shizor's bounty.
And that's also Anakin.
Shizor's bounty says can't battle, but they still can move. And then when they lose that character, so now he plays a regular
And
barrier.
a regular barrier. He's
on
got
Anakin.
all
and
the
Taco
evasion.
used all his force, which Anakin can of course battle for free, but he could not grab that
Can't
if
grab
he wanted to.
the barrier or any other.
And so now both those cannot battle. Ahsoka
Could move if he had force to move her.
could
But
move, but he wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
He'd rather have these. He's trying to kick him off the 3rd battleground, so he's not taking Shadows pings. But now I think now's when Beefred's going to be digging for those spies to go wide. When he's going to want to.
he could go take over the JCC.
Well,
he could go to
so
the boss
JCC
nest.
anyone can deploy and move in.
That's true.
So he'll want Probot and Afra, and we saw Afra opening hand, but I think he's probably waiting to lose a droid, and he just hasn't because she obviously gets maximum value from getting a card back.
Right.
If he had Probot and he goes to Boss Nast Chambers and that gets killed, then he can go Afra over to
The throne room or
the throne room and get the Probot back, or so. But yeah, and now I think is when Beefreds want to go wide and go Afra over, and if I were him, I'd drop Cad Bane to the Imperial City and move Cad Bane in, drop Afra over to the JC, and just start putting on the damage. What we saw in game 1 of No Idea what
Right.
Hayes did
When
was
Hayes went wide.
Hayes was like guy at a site, Ezra over on Endor,
Mm-hmm.
you've got Jin over at the Mustafar Castle, like the idea of going wide and just spreading.
because you can't cover up all those.
Right, and especially when they're non-battlegrounds, their opponent has to defend.
Bill lost another Luke to off the top, so
That's 2.
he lost 2 to
two
Force
dead,
Chains, and
there's
he's got one on the table. So maybe one more Luke in the
maybe,
deck.
but that might just be it. I think 3 is the right call right now.
Right.
So that'd be huge if he can kill that last Luke. Taco's gonna have to not leave that site too thin.
Yeah.
But even a hidden weapons, then any result is good because even the hit result means at least it clears that Luke and you flip and.
And we saw Bill already lost his hidden weapons canceller,
Yeah.
so he's got to try to find a solo or something to.
I do think this match can go either way. I played this matchup yesterday twice.
Okay.
I was throne room, and the first game was against Mishki, and I took over the system as throne room, and I was able to execute the game plan and kick him off my non-battleground sites, and I won. And then I played it in Game 8 against Justin Miyashiro. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Miyashiro.
Great.
Team
Nailed
high
it.
ground.
And I just got a terrible start as throne room. And
Yeah, Justin was telling me
and
about
then
that
I
one
made a
last night.
desperation play, and
Yeah.
Anakin cannot draw Battle Destiny against Shizor. He
cannot.
was able to ceasefire, so I couldn't use my weapon and get rid of him. He ceasefired, and then I couldn't get a Destiny, and
Yeah, it's tough.
I was already way behind in making a desperation play, and it was like, yeah, it really can't go either way. Is my point? Did I
P59 and Jasper.
P59 Jasper come down? Cool. My point is, I was able to beat Mishki in it, and I lost to Justin Miyashiro. It can go either way. So right now, it's looking good for Beefred, in my opinion, in that he's established at 3 battlegrounds. He's getting Shadows pings. He's doing damage, and Taco's paying to drain and trying to respond to that. So I think what's going to happen here is Beefred's going to be okay losing that P59,
Mm-hmm.
and then Afro it back.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see a Probot in hand. I just think he doesn't have enough force to also deploy that Probot over to
Goes with.
Jasper.
I thought he already had Jasper
I think
down.
he was thinking about Jasper and he
Okay.
did someone else.
So
Is
it's
that Valatic? I don't know who that third one. Cad Bane.
Cad Bane. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
he had the Zam there. He had a P59, Cad Bane, and Jasper. And he battles, it looks like, and he's going to shoot.
Yeah. No run, Luke, run. That would have been a good call.
Shoots at Anakin and misses. Draws a Destiny 3. Prepared defenses. Yeah, Run Luke Run, I think is like a 61st card right now. Because back when you had 5 Lukes, you needed him to be in the battle. Now when you only have 3 and you've got a little bit more diverse character base with Saitor, it's hard to fit that in. Especially if, like Taco, you're running 2 Leias and a Blaster.
Mm-hmm.
You probably not. I'm guessing if we looked at Bill's list, Run Luke Run is not in the deck. But yeah, that would be huge if you had that right here. I think it was unfortunate for Taco that he activated Anakin's Saber last turn, because otherwise he would have Saitor'd the Saber onto Anakin.
Correct.
I mean, unless he forgot, but I'm guessing he checked with Docking Bay Puller or Saitor, and it wasn't
Right.
there.
Seems
Saber
like
right here would be nice, because now he'll probably only have to lose one. Dark will only lose one character.
Yeah.
Beefred got a nice draw and just getting a lot of guys.
He does have. Yeah, I was able to get good dudes over there. He plays a Dark Time. We'll see if that gets.
And
Oh, he
Taco
can't
has no
can't
force to
grab.
grab it.
Ouch.
So Taco loses one, and he plays that to activate one, I'm assuming? No? So Destinies can't be affected?
Maybe he just yeah.
Does that prevent the -1 from, what's her name, and the +1 from Anakin?
Yeah, it would.
Okay, so basically he's neutering Anakin and
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka's +1, -1 with
And also
Dark
pinging
Time.
a damage and not getting it grabbed because.
Yep. So Anakin dies and goes with Cad Bane. He's wondering, Cad Bane or P59? P59 he wants to get back with that
So then
Afra,
he can-
so he doesn't want to leave him there on table, but also he's worried about someone else coming down and
wants to be
battling,
able to
and
shoot.
he wants to be able to shoot on that and lose it on the other person's turn.
So he's gonna lose
Um,
Jasper. No. Let's see.
What did
I didn't see what Bill drew for
I didn't see
Destiny.
what he drew either, but it seems like he's contemplating P59, so he Zam would let him look at the force pile and take one, but I think he only has like one
One
force pile
card.
right now. Yeah, so he loses Zam. Definitely better than Jasper, because Joss's power 4, forfeit 6.
Right,
like,
and he also
Zam's
has
only
the
forfeit 4,
anti-Leia
and-
text, which we know Bill's got 2
and
copies of Leia Rebel
right,
Princess.
and there's the droid in there, but still, she might just shoot one down.
Right.
The other one protects it. So,
Mhm.
yeah. So losing Zam is good there. The only reason why you'd lose P59 is if
So
he
you could do
thought
the Afra play.
if he thought Bill's not battling back into him and he wants to get in it back with Afra.
All 3 draw on their own. Yeah, that's a good point.
And Remaker says a speak was what was drawn in
Yeah.
Destiny 4. I mean, right now, Fred's in the driver's seat, and the issue is Taco's got to pay to drain, and he's also got to pay to deploy stuff. Like there, he did not drain.
That's
Right?
Cassian.
And so,
Yep.
he plays Cassian, which can stop a weapon destiny, which means, probably P59 will shoot and Cassian will cancel it, but it's like, it's not that strong a play. So anyway, here's the problem. Taco didn't pay 3 to drain, which you can understand. He wanted to deploy Cassian and Lando and battle and do stuff, but when that's happening, Beefred's not losing cards. Whereas on Beefred's turn, it's going to be drain 1, ping 1.
Yep.
And to win the game, you got to do damage, right?
Right.
And if Taco's not doing damage, so he shoots. He asks if you want a Cassian. Like, who do you place out of play? I guess maybe Luke, because you only have the one
One
that
left.
has to stay on table. Except if you lose it, you might want to walkling it. But maybe he just decides to let it hit and cancel the weapon destiny. Or battle destiny, but I don't
Yeah.
know why you'd cancel the battle destiny, because P59 doesn't make forfeit 0, so you're just going to lose who's ever
Yeah.
hitting. Either way, you're losing someone. Why
Yeah.
lose 2 to P59
Yeah,
also?
why
So he
lose?
does.
He's gonna do Cassian here.
Yeah, it looks like Anakin he placed out of play, which he must only have one. I think if that's the case, having two Leias and one Anakin is a mistake. I'd rather have Anakin and a saber than Leia and her gun. So he draws a 4 for Battle Destiny.
Did you see this? The bottom line. Win dark light.
Oh, apparently yesterday Light won 58% of the games to Dark's 42%.
It's almost a 60-40
so like we were saying
split.
over the weekend, Dark is pretty bad. It was almost a 60-40 split on on how how overpowered Light is. So hopefully the design team working on that the fix it set
The tweak set 12 that'll
will
be
add
coming
some more
out
dark
soon.
cards to help fix that 60-40 imbalance.
Yeah.
All right, so looking like Joss and P59 die because two Destinies were drawn with Lando, and meanwhile Cassian died. So
That went pretty well for Bill then, but
right, but he used his whole turn, did no damage. He took two guys out, but still now Beefred's gonna drain one, ping, probably back up Cad Bane, or else he'll probably Afra and Probot and go wide and hold a Gick for Cad Bane, and just be like,
just
all
call
right,
it good, yeah.
just call it good. I do 3 damage this turn and set up to do like 8 next turn. So now he loses the battle planes. I think he decided he's not
Finally took our advice there.
Though that actually could have been at this point another out. Is deciding like this could be a late game desperation play of going, all right, I'm gonna bunker this one Coruscant site and go over there if he has Anakin Saber.
Yeah.
And drain 3. Well, of course, resistance would cap it at 2 and 2. So then he's
yeah,
only doing,
so
he could pay 6
lightsaber
to do 4,
wouldn't really matter,
and Dark
yeah.
would be doing 1/1/1 paying. Yeah. So he does do Afra for free, which
then,
will
yeah,
take
she goes to the
P59.
boss
He'll pay
nest.
1 to retrieve it because aim high is on table, and then he'll pay 4 for P59. Oh no, 4 for Probot over to So he's
The
doing
front.
exactly what we talked about earlier
Yep.
in the game plan of go wide, occupy 2 battlegrounds, sight and system for sure. So simple tricks does nothing to you, but if you can, a third one so you can shadows ping. If you're doing if Dark is at 3 battlegrounds here, they've won the game. Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you can't and theoretically even if they're at 2, they're probably winning. And so yeah, so then he does P59 to the Imperial City. He's
Then
going to
he'll
move
move.
into the JCC, and suddenly he's looking at doing a drain of 1/1, 3/2/2.
And Shadow Sping.
So that's 9. Shadow's ping makes 10. I assume he'll kick him off the 3rd battleground. So 9, but 9 damage next turn. Even if he can knock him off 2 of those,
Yeah.
he'll still be doing 1/1/2. That's 4.
Because,
maybe
yeah,
a
now
Shadow's
you've got
ping
the
5. He's doing 4 to
JCC,
5.
Throne Room, and the Boss Nash Chambers that are all drains of
It's-
2 or more.
Yeah. Yeah, so Taco Bill is in a tough spot. He, actually, another out he has right now. So part of the problem with this out, another out I was going to say is a big beatdown, right? You go down to Afra, you overflow her for like 8 or 10.
And they don't have a Gick.
And they don't have a Gick. Most likely Beefred has a Gick at this point. So then your out would have to be beat down, grab Gick,
Do
beat
it
down
again.
And getting 2 beatdowns is totally possible, but we got to keep in mind on table already is Luke, Rey, Lando, Ahsoka.
We've seen 2 other Lukes go lost.
Leia can't beat down because she just doesn't have enough power
Yeah.
like her gun does.
She's
She's not a
3.
beat down character. Anakin is out of play, and we saw an EPP Obi in Lost Pow when he was deciding with Cassian who to place out of play. So Obi's
So,
gone.
maybe an
so
EPP
he's got
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon. That's it. But he's got to get 2 beatdowns if he's got a Gick. And
Yep.
I just don't see that Taco has the guys left to get those beatdowns.
Yeah, I mean, Taco has the weird
Sean
doomed.
Michael says Neighbor needs to get through, but of course Taco started
Insurrection aim high.
Insurrection combo, so there's no Neighbors that's going to be happening. So yeah, I think so. Jedi Lev is another out that maybe he can Qui-Gon
that
beat
Obi-Wan
down
back.
Jedi Lev for Obi and beat down again, and if he can get in like 8 to 10 overflow, if he can do that at least once, maybe twice. But
There could also be
otherwise-
maybe like a Chewie solo beatdown.
Okay, yeah,
you know,
good point.
Something like
There is
that.
a
2
few
Destinies
other
and a
characters left.
Bowcaster.
Yep, yeah, or even just Bowie anyone, Bowie Corrin.
Bowie, Corrin, yeah.
But Padme's already out. A lot of his characters are out right now. But yeah, Bowie, Leia, but it would have to be on someone Leia doesn't blank. It obviously wouldn't work on Afra.
Leia plus gun, friendly ground, and
A
clash.
clash is possible if he could move and if at some point Beefred sits in front, but there's no need for him to do that. He can just run away on the ground. All right, so
Anakin's
Anakin's
lightsaber
saber
goes
comes
on
down
Rey.
but Beefred can just resistance that train. Like resistance is already on table.
Yeah.
So I guess Taco's plan is to just kill Cad Bane right now. There in the sewer, and then move in and split and do. Well, it's still capped at 2-2. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
I think actually in retrospect, last turn he shouldn't have played Cassian. Should have come down with Lando, let Lando get shot and peel 2 and lose Lando. But then he could come down with Cassian right now, cancel the Destiny and peel, have Cad Bane peel quite a few.
Yeah. There's a Jin
Lando
or
wouldn't be
so
there.
undercover at the Nash chambers, covering up the Afra drain.
So I don't think this dark side will play Sniper Dark Strike. There's not enough weapons that IG it doesn't work with. Forlorn
Yeah.
it doesn't work with. It would only work with P59. So Probot and Force Lightning are your undercover spy protections.
Probot's already out,
And Probot's already out. So I think Jin should be going to the JCC since there's no sniper.
yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe later he's hoping to break her cover, drop someone else with her, and battle
Do a
an overflow.
beatdown.
But Beefred's got to be saving the gig just for that.
So he's battling against Cad Bane.
Yeah. That's a -1 with Ahsoka. So he drew an IG, which becomes a 0. So
That's pretty good for Bill.
Cad Bane, he sucks out 1 Gick. I would grab that right here and go for the Afrobeat. Like, that's Taco Bill's big out right here.
Yeah.
Is like, find Chewie, find Qui-Gon, grab that Gick, and then wait till you see the second one in a Verify or go off the top or something, or until Beefred does not have enough force to pay 2 for it, counting in if he hasn't wiped yet that turn.
Right.
And then break cover and beat down and make it peel like 13 plus.
Yeah.
But Taco did not grab it. So the reason why I think you grab it is so that he always has to have 2 force for it, even if
Yeah.
he has a second one in hand.
Yeah.
It opens up the option at some point Beefred's lower in force, and you can get that second beat off.
I kind of wonder
Of course,
if Bill has anything to go
I
to.
think he's saving it for Dark Time.
Yeah.
At this point, he knows Beefred has Dark Time.
Yeah.
It's going to be real uphill. Though he does have the one big out of We're Doomed.
Yeah, so I was just gonna
If
say
he
he
can
has the weird
pay to
doomed,
drain and We're Doomed.
and like
just
I was
loop
wondering
that.
if he could get Zuckuss and Miss Hunter off the table and get
He-
Beefred back to paying for drains.
He needs so much
and then
ability and space
Yeah.
because of Zuckuss. It's a pain.
Decree started. We kind of explained this at the beginning for like the sense shield and for
And
the weapons display
weapons
shield.
display shield. Basically, when you've got barrier, Shuzor's bounty, sense, you're gonna be losing 2 a lot to just those shields, and so instead you only lose 1. It saves you, typically it'll save you 4 or 5 force over the course of the game, and then it also Afra can get a destiny. You can just go, all right. If you drop someone down to battle her, you just pop it and
Yeah, getting
get
that
a battle
extra.
destiny so that you don't have to peel any force.
Yeah, getting that battle destiny if I'm able to. Otherwise, once per game can be pretty big.
Yeah, and then of course it also does its normal thing versus a deck like Prophet or No Idea or
Bill doesn't have enough. Yeah, that's what I was wondering
yeah.
if he could.
Oh, there is a run, Luke, run. It's now on the top of Lost Pile, so I stand corrected. So that's another out is if he can get good tricks in his hand like Clash and Sorry. Of course, we know Beefred's saving Scent, so that's probably won't work. But in theory, if he can get down solo, play Run Luke Run from Lost Pile, Clash a dude, Sorry a dude, and get a beatdown over there. I mean, his out right now is beatdown. He's not going to win a damage race.
Yeah.
Because Beefred's ahead.
Leia
and
Rebel Princess will help
doing
cut
free
some
and doing
drains.
more. Like right now, I mean, I guess we're on Beefred's turn, right? So he just drained
That's still
1-1, 3-2.
Bill's. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why the Run the Run was lost. So,
Yeah.
so Bill just 8-7 plus, and no shadows damage yet. Obviously,
He could have
'cause he's
used
a-
Leia on one of those drains.
Oh, that's right.
Not sure. Or I
Lay
guess
in the-
potentially on.
Lay in the JCC drain. Yeah. I was not paying super close attention because talking about Bill's potential outs in terms of beatdowns and Decree and stuff. But yeah, Leia stopping the JCC drain is big right now. That's awesome.
Yeah, that and then you do that twice with Leia.
Yeah. Brian 28 points out that Decree also just does random stuff like if Gold Leader and Gold 1 comes down against your ship and you don't have a force save, you can just
Get
draw
that
a
if
final
unable
to
to otherwise.
or,
Yep.
yeah, just that kind of, I don't know, weird stuff where it's like they got Jedi Test 6 and
Yeah.
you've got 4 ability and you have to pop it, whatever.
I'm not sure if he did or if
Yeah, so Nick
canceled
said
the.
Leia canceled the
Yeah,
JCC
that's
train.
what I thought
Yeah,
I saw too.
I think I mean, so there's you obviously have two options as Dark. You can not drain because you're gonna go kill Leia, or you can just drain through her and eat her 2 cancels, thinking I'm gonna drain at least 3 times, 3+, and I need to just start getting past her cancels. And it looks like that is what
Yeah.
Nick says. Yeah, he drained and he put a
Yeah, I thought I
put
saw
a
him
card
take a
back.
card from Lost and put it on reserve. I just didn't.
Yeah, so that was Leia canceling a drain. So that was the first Leia cancel, and we'll see.
So he's
one
got
more.
one more with that, but like you said, he could maybe try to go kill Leia. But that's why Leia's with Luke and with the Padme and the whole stack of Rey and all that stuff are all there.
My wife just texted me that Kobe Bryant died. I was like, yeah, Star Wars people informed me of that.
An hour ago. Crazy, definitely crazy. I saw that on the Twitch chat, and it was still like,
Unconfirmed at that
yeah,
point.
unconfirmed, but
just in the last hour, it's on all the news sites now.
yeah, R.I.P. Definitely. Don't like to
so
see stuff like that go down.
Dengar's gonna come
Nice. EPP Dengar. I know
down, and
sometimes you
Shadows
see.
Ping. He draws a red card, and something's gonna come off the top, which is a Ray. Then he'll
Tarkin's
Tarkin's
Bounty.
That was the red card he just drew.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have played that before paying
Right.
4 first for Dengar.
But
so
there must be something in there that he wants.
there's
U3PO.
C-3PO.
There it is.
And
Just checking his hand one more time, but I think he's going to take that U3PO.
yeah, that's a pretty good card.
Force
There's a
push in
crack
there.
vet.
Boba Fett Bounty Hunter. Guri. That's a pretty good force pile still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No escape.
yeah. I mean, usually you wouldn't Tarkin's Bounty into Force Push,
Right.
but
You
it's,
could.
but it's a good card if you draw some this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Dengar was an interesting play because it did let him shadows, but he's got to protect that. He's got to worry about Gick. I mean, like if that eats his second Gick right here, because
Then those Probots and the P-59s that
they're
are
all
hanging
very
out.
vulnerable.
Yeah. I bet she's coming down with. Okay, he's got U3PO.
Yeah.
Does he have anything else to put with
Looks
Dengar?
like a Bosk, but I'm just thinking if Solo comes down to go to the sewers, and then Luke run from Lost, and gets a bunch of overflow. I guess he can sense the Luke run, but
There's Bosk.
but he comes down with Bosk to accompany Dengar. Bosk caps opponent's destiny with a smuggler or a Wookiee, but that Lando is not a smuggler, so
Okay.
so his destiny will not be capped. He uses a sewer text to retrieve Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
Sewer says if you are occupy 3 battlegrounds, you can once per game retrieve a Black Sun agent into hand.
Yep. And Jasper's a good one with Leia being out on the table.
And he's just high power, high forfeit.
Yeah, he's
because pretty much all your sites have 2 icons except for the city, but you won't be there.
Yeah, you're not going to go there.
Yeah, so it makes him power 4, defense value 6, forfeit 6. Just a solid.
Yeah, he's very good. All right, so that's the end of Brian's turn. See what Taco Bill does here to.
Yeah, I mean, if he has solo, he has outs, or if he can go to the Afra, or yeah, if I was Fred, I almost would have dropped Dengar to the middle site, shadows pinged. Instead of getting you 3PO, take the no escape, take Gick back into hand, and then just move Dengar into your stack and just go, look, I'm at the JCC, I'm at the throne room, I'm at a Battleground Titan system. I'm just going to no escape that Gick into my hand, play super safe, because Taco's out is the beatdown. And even if you got that, I mean, another Gick, at this point, Taco's probably not playing Grimtosh. I guess that could be bad if both of them got Grimtosh, but Taco just doesn't have the force to Grimtosh Lost and deploy guys, and so no escaping for that, and just consolidating your guys and being content to sit and out damage him. Like
Yeah.
U3PO, it's good in a damage race, but when you're ahead,
It's gonna sorry about the
Taco's
mess on
sure.
U3PO.
Taco's not, and he
Gets
has O
sense
switch
or O
off,
switch
so he
off.
can't target him for remainder of turn. Um, U3PO is good in a drain race, but Taco can't win by drain racing. Taco has to win with a beatdown here, and so that's why I would take
So
the
you think
game
he
to
has
it.
the second Gick in hand?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he does as well, but I mean, I'm just thinking a second Gick means um, you're more safe because right now if he goes, solo, run Luke, run in, clash, overflow, you have to use that Gick, and
Yep.
suddenly you got Afra sitting there where they go break Jin's cover, Qui-Gon, overflow, and it's unlikely,
But
for
yeah,
sure. But
there's
that's his out to winning. It's not drain racing. So U3PO, like if Taco's paying 3 to drain 3 right now as Beefred, I'm going okay, great.
yeah.
Right now
You're
I'm gonna
perfectly
do
content with that because you
right now
got
I'm gonna do like
resistance.
6 to you next turn.
Yeah.
You're gonna do 3 to me, and I'm gonna do 6, and I'm already ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, I guess Grimtosh is the only reason why you wouldn't do that play, but otherwise I'm just playing it safer and happy to trade damage right here. He does have to win by 7 plus, and um, but I don't I think he's
Bill looks pretty
okay with that
low
right now.
already, almost. You know.
Yeah, I think Fred's got to be at like 19. Oh, switch off says the droid can't be targeted for remainder of turn, which protects him from Corrin too, which is so sick that
Yeah.
that by playing that sorry, he
Yeah, like
just negated his Corrin.
he's protected against all such attempts to
Yeah.
be lost for remainder of turn, right?
Oh, to be lost?
I
Is it?
think. Or
I thought he just can't be targeted for remainder of turn. So let
something.
me.
Let's pull up O switch off.
Yeah, that might need a judge too. Um, all such attempts. Like, what does attempts mean? Is it attempts to make lost? I'm sure someone in the chat will know too. But let's get the exact text here.
Yeah, it does say all such attempts.
Yeah. Cancel an attempt to target your droid to be stolen, hit, or lost. Droid is protected from all such attempts. Okay, so yeah, there was a recent ruling on the forums about this.
So his cover can be broken,
and
but you can't
Corrin
steal
can target
him.
him to break his cover, but he's still protected from being stolen for remainder of turn. So then he becomes a dark side. Like they can't use the part where it says light may steal. Instead, like doesn't get that option because he's protected
So
from
Bill
that.
could pop the cover
Yeah,
in the move
and then
phase.
and then he'd be a dark side non-undercover droid at the site. But it'd
Okay.
still deal with that.
We'll see if Bill knows about that.
All right, so Dengar shoots Lando. Bill went ahead and battled. He's
Yep.
got to clear him off sites. Um,
So some good destinies from
and
Bill.
then he draws
5 and a 7.
Did uh, he draws a Never Yarnal?
Yep.
Was he shooting?
No, I think
guess
that's just
not.
the
He
two
just
destinies.
decided not to. He shot Lando and was like, "I'll pass on shooting." I don't know why you would when you got all the Emperors and
Well, you can't shoot Ahsoka. She's immune to permanent
I mean,
weapons.
good call. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
So that 6 becomes a 5, and Ahsoka's immune less than 5.
Mm-hmm.
So both are gonna die, I believe. Maybe he's waiting for him to forfeit first. Oh, he loses both and a card. Their forfeits are pretty low.
Falling Fist.
Yeah, I don't know why Ahsoka didn't die there, because Lando was hit forfeit 0, and I believe that was a Never Yarnal Destiny 6. -1 is a 5, and she's immune less than 5.
Maybe they
I
may
think
see
Bill
played that they're
Bill-
tracking
yeah,
us or anything.
I think B-Fred's pointing, like saying,
Oh, okay,
no, you
yeah,
should
there we
lose her
go.
too. And
There we
it
go.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
B-Fred knew. Taco,
It's the only thing I can think of is maybe Bill played that they're tracking us to make
so
it
now
a
Shizor's bounty
4.
will trigger, which means B-Fred will retrieve one, and so he goes ahead and pays one to retrieve one, knowing that U3PO has no chance this turn. And then he gets to peek at Taco Bell's hand. And he says, I have a question for you. Oh, he's like, what order are we forfeiting stuff in, so he knows what to retrieve. So he loses the one ping. Lando's forfeited first.
Because it was Bill's battle, so he has to forfeit first.
Yeah.
So then Lando go first, and then
And then the bounty, and then the Dengar.
so he's got Luke, lightsaber, Jedi Lev, Hear Me Baby,
Chewie. So he does have the Hear Me Baby. Apparently he plays 2.
Yeah.
Well, did he just take that target's bounty to hand instead of or Bosk? He took the Bosk to hand instead of his lost or his used file.
Is it a retrieve or retrieve into hand?
It's retrieve.
Okay.
So that was that. I'm fairly sure he just accidentally set him in his hand.
This might be his use pile.
That was his use pile, but I thought he
Okay.
put it in his hand.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
We'll
I
see
guess.
momentarily. Yeah.
So he breaks E3PO's cover, but cannot steal him, so he's on the dark side.
So at least they were aware of that
Ruling.
semi-recent.
And he's going to go ahead and split forces so that he can drain. But so, oh no, so he's going to go attack. He's got the
Luke.
other Luke and Saber he doesn't worry about. Yeah, see, Bosk in his
Leia.
hand right there. That's a mistake. Bosk should be top of his used pile. And if we were active judging, we would go correct that. But we will active judge the top 4 and top 2. That was obviously a pretty innocent mistake.
I'm not sure that that's going to impact too much.
I don't think this is going to be that close.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he deploys him and battles with them and stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely a factor.
So what allowed him to retrieve Bosk? It was the
Tarkin's Bound.
Tarkin's
Shizor's
Bounty.
Bounty.
Shizor's Bounty,
Says when they lose the character that had the Shizor's Bounty on it, Darkseid retrieves one and peeks at Lightside's hand. So he forfeited Bosk. He lost one overflow. Lando lost one overflow or something. I don't know. Whatever. They decided the order of this that Bosk was lost. Then Ahsoka went. Bosk got retrieved when Ahsoka went with the bounty dying.
Yeah, it does just say retrieve one force.
And then Dengar got lost. And so.
Okay. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. We got 46 viewers.
Awesome.
Pretty rad. We had 41 players yesterday in the main event. Cut to the top 8, and
Taco still has not been able to deal with those other drains. So right now he's going to eat 3 at the JCC, 2 at the.
I think he could use Leia one more time, right, for the JCC.
Yep, good call. So 1 last Leia. So he drains 1 at the system, and then he plays
that was the word doomed.
Which he senses.
Sense.
Draws successful sense barrier, but it goes used because Wise Advice is out. He's going to have to lose the sense and 1 because Decree is out.
Decree.
And We're Doomed goes used. Okay.
Okay.
So sense only stopped it for that 1 turn.
Does Brian have the voyeur?
Yeah. He now plays a used Force Lightning. Oh, or maybe lost on someone. Maybe he's tracking something, and he's playing a lost Force Lightning to zap someone.
Zap Padme out of there.
Or Leia, before she can cancel the... did Leia move over? I don't know. I
she's
think so.
she's the middle character.
Yeah, so if he zaps Leia so she can't use, then he can drain at the JCC. So Force Lightning's Leia, lost.
Yeah, he tracked in every Yarnall.
Tracks Never Yarnall.
She go.
And he can't Force Lightning Luke with that Never Yarnall because Luke's Saber makes him defense value +1. For those wondering why he didn't just zap him and flip. So now he's going to drain 3 at the JCC.
Yeah, Leia's the better zap here.
Yep, and then he will drain 2 at the throne room. Someone asked about updates on the other games. I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
this
Joe can buzz in there and
let me go. I'll just give my quick eyeball evaluation on what the
get the
sort of
matchups
and yeah.
Thanks, Joe. All right. So there's the 3 drain at the JCC now that he can't use Leia anymore. 2 at the throne room. So yeah, total drain would be 1 at Coruscant, 3 at the JCC, 2 at the throne room. So, and then you got Shadows ping. Well, I guess he doesn't have Shadows right now because he was kicked off that other site. But if he can go to one more battleground like the sewer with somebody, he could ping another damage with Shadows. There's Boba Fett Bounty Hunter to the uplink station. So now he does have a Shadows ping. Bill loses a relatively unprotected off the top. Here comes Joe back.
All right, so our other games, as we know, Harpster scooped to Hayes real early, so Hayes already advanced. Then we have Eric Hunter, who is playing Rops versus Dennis, who has Hitco. And right now it looks pretty close. They both look like they have around 18 to 20 life force and struggling over altar sites. But Dennis was down by 20 in the match, and so it's he might come out with a small single digit win. They're going to have back and forth play,
But it sounds like it's going to be kind of hard for him to pull.
Sounds like it's going to be hard to win by 20. Mishki's Prophet versus Stubley's Hunt Down. Mishki looks like he has a solid about 20 life force to Stubley's about 10 or 12. But Visage is on the table, eating away both of them, and Mishki needs to win by at least 14. So I think that one will end fairly close in terms of the overall match. I think Mishki is looking decent to win the game, but I don't know
if he
if
can win
by
by
enough.
enough.
It's same, yeah. So both the Minnesota guys are kind of in that same position where.
Man, Connor's having a great weekend.
Yep.
You know, his first major, making top 8.
Connor Hunter
Congrats.
brothers. All right, so where are we at? When I left, Dark had just done a bunch of damage in their control phase.
Yeah, and so then he went.
He played that Bosk that he took to hand.
The Boba Fett Bounty Hunter and the Bosk.
But the boss that should have been in used pile.
Yeah.
I'm guessing what happened is Beefred got confused on
Sewer versus.
Sewer conflicts, yeah, because that does take to hand, but also Shizor's Bounty says you peek at their hand, and the idea of taking into hand, he might have been like, it retrieves to hand and you peek at hand instead of thinking it's just retrieves and peek at hand. So,
right.
So he did play that Bosk with the Fett, which is kind of big because
what he did is he put the Fett to the uplink station to get a Shadow's Ping, and then he put Bosk to the middle site and then moved Fett over.
So he still could have done that, but Bosk just would not be there, which means he would have one less Destiny because Fett adds 1 with an Alien or Imperial, 2 if they're a Bounty Hunter or Vader.
Yeah.
And Bosk is a Bounty Hunter. So, yeah, but again, I don't think it will affect this match because all Beefred has to do is just pile that site hard, and with Taco not having the resources to kick him off those other sites, he can just stay alive at a site and system and drain 3-2, 3-2.
Yep.
So Taco attempts to Jedi Love. So he's going to have to pay 3 for that, plus 1 for Secret Plans, 4 to get back a character.
Yes, we did hear that. It was like a helicopter crash or something.
Yeah. Oh, Taco Bell just extended the hand. He realized he's not going to get him down to 7 or less life force. Brian Fred he didn't have any characters left to be able to kick off the Probot and the P-59, and so yeah, this is kind of the game plan we said at the beginning was if Dark can take the system,
go wide,
have a site and go wide, and Light needs to basically, if they can take the system, if they take the system, they win the game because Dark can't pay to drain.
Yes.
It gives Light a lot more.
Bill either didn't get a space or just wasn't running a very much space.
Or couldn't deal with the space, which means then they need to get in beatdowns, and he wasn't able to get the beatdowns. So Fred advances, and we'll.
So now we have Brian Fred and Hayes Hunter confirmed.
I don't know if they're playing each other or someone else. I
forget that.
I don't know how the bracket.
We'll have to take a look at the bracket and all that.
And
but
then the other games are wrapping up pretty soon. The Rops game won't wrap up soon, but it might
we all hit almost an hour for that game, so the round.
There's only 15 minutes left in the round.
The round should be pretty close to being over, and I don't know if we're going to do a lunch break or anything like that today.
Yeah. However, the Dennis might also concede if he gets to a low point. I can't win by 20 plus.
So yeah, we'll kind of go on a little bit of an intermission here because we don't know exactly when the next round will start, but we'll update you as soon as we can with the other results and get you the next game ASAP. Thanks for being with us here, guys, and keep it tuned on the Twitch channel for the rest of the day. We'll soon crown an Endor champion for our first major of 2020.